What should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not both?
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
When you're a local business owner, getting your business online can be a painful, expensive undertaking. But it doesn't have to be. With TMS Plus Digital Essentials, you'll get 6 essential services to launch your digital marketing, all for one low monthly price. Cut through the noise of today's digital world. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus. Visit tmsplus.com now for your free digital snapshot and for a chance to win a free 5-page website.
Good evening and welcome to Bob Wine Field here in Lucas. Tonight it's week 9 of the high school football season and the regular season finale in the home game department for the Lucas Cubs. Senior night festivities just about wrapping up. The 6-1 and state-ranked Cubs will take on the Redskins of Fort Loramie, who enter at 3-5. Welcome inside the treehouse in the Wendy's broadcast booth here in Lucas. Weather-wise, we might be okay tonight. Storms hopefully will stay to our north. Eric Will with me in the booth. Glad to team up with our friends at the OH Report tonight for live high school football. And Eric, I'll tell you what, Lucas not able to play last week because they had their game canceled. They could not arrange another game. These kids are itching to get back on the field here tonight.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. Like you said, you got the senior night festivities going on. Good crowd here. I think we're going to have a great night weather-wise, which is kind of unexpected. We thought we were probably going to get some weather, which I think would have actually impacted maybe the visitors, Fort Loramie, maybe more than the Lucas Cubs tonight. But I'm sure if you're a Lucas fan, it's great just to get back on the field tonight.
Well, I'll tell you what, Fort Loramie, again, their opponent, as we're going to have the Lucas alma mater. Then we'll pause in a moment here for the national anthem. Eric, Fort Loramie, if people don't know, it's about a 2.5-hour bus ride. They're in Shelby County. It's the western part of Ohio. It's 20 miles from the Indiana border. Population about 1,500 if you're curious. And we do have one local alum here. Lexington basketball coach Scott Hamilton is a graduate of Fort Loramie.
Man.
How about that?
Yeah, I'm sure. He's probably paying attention to this.
He's supposed to be here tonight.
Well, the thing is, listen, no matter where you go, your high school and keeping tabs on where you're from is extremely important. So, for him to have his alma mater come this close to North Central Ohio, he's going to take that opportunity, I'm sure.
Well, Fort Loramie, we'll talk about them and Lucas in the matchup in just a moment, but don't let their record fool you. Those 5 losses, 3 of them have came by a total of just 5 points. I believe we're going to have the national anthem here in just a moment. as we're getting ready for football here tonight at Bob Wine Field. We mentioned Fort Loramie. Eric plays a really, really tough schedule.
Yeah, they play really tough schedule. They're once again, I believe, without a conference as well.
Right,
so they
independent.
So they kind of have to play around with their schedule, and they travel all over the state and all over the northern part of the state, definitely. And we're going to talk about this through the broadcast, but they've had 5 losses, but you got to throw that record out, like Coach Spittler said, because they have 3 losses. They have 3 losses against quality opponents that have totaled in 5 points.
Correct.
And they can throw the ball all over the yard.
They lost to Newark Catholic by a point, 41-40. They also lost by 3 to a 1-loss Eden team, 24-21, and then a 1-point loss to a Division V school in Columbus Academy, and then a 10-point loss to a Division II school out of Indiana. As we talk about them for a moment, their quarterback's throwing for nearly 2,000 yards, and they have a stud of a receiver.
You know, we're going to talk about this with the keys to the game as we get closer to the kickoff, but one of the things for me is Caleb Maurer, number 6, their quarterback. Like you said, Aaron, he's right around 62%. He's thrown nearly 20. He's got 19 touchdown passes, 1,961 yards, and then his primary target, and we're going to hear this name a bunch, he is a dude. I was down on the field, all of 6'4", can run well.
You can verify.
Yeah, Logan Eilerman, through 8 games, people, listen to this, 70 catches, 851 yards, 12-yard average, 10 touchdowns. He's got 11 total, also leading the team in yards yards per game, as well as all-purpose yards. He's over almost 1,100 all-purpose yards. And then he's got a sidekick next to him with 26 catches, 436 yards, and also 5 touchdowns. That's Gabe Meyer. You're going to hear about him tonight. And in the backfield, it's going to be headed up by Jacob Sherman. Jacob Sherman is pushing. He's kissing up against that 400-yard mark at 384 yards. He's got 3 touchdowns. But they do their damage through the air, Aaron. So that's something that is going to present a challenge tonight for Lucas's defense, because, you know, they don't see that a lot on their schedule, and they don't see that a lot demonstrated well in practice by a scout team. Because here's what people don't realize: when you practice, you're probably good at what you do offensively, because it becomes natural for your defense to see that. So if you're a team that throws the ball all over the yard, then your defense might struggle against a team that runs like Lucas, and it's vice versa when you're looking at Fort Loramie and what they're going to bring here today in this game.
Well, as we talk about Lucas, 6-1, 12th-year head coach Scott Spittler, ground and pound. They want to run you over. We're going to talk about that over the course of the evening, as they have been dealing with injuries, and we'll talk about those. They're getting 1 guy back here this evening, so we'll talk about that in just a moment as we pause now for the playing of our national anthem. Tonight's national anthem by the Lucas Band on the field. 4 minutes away from football tonight. 6-1 state-ranked Lucas, who of course is ranked 8th in the state in Division 7. The Cubs number 2 in Region 25 in terms of the playoffs. And Eric, let's talk about Lucas getting somebody back tonight who is very, very key, and that's Andrew Finello.
Andrew Finello's he's been missed. Let's just say that. And why has he been missed? Well, he's one of their all-purpose guys. He's got 66 carries for nearly 500 yards at 457. He's averaging nearly 7 yards a carry, 3 touchdowns. He's also the team's leading receiver, Aaron. He has 10 catches for 216 yards, with 2 touchdowns. Now, when you look at that, who's throwing in the ball? Who's handing the ball off? Andrew Smollen's back under center. I know he was banged up earlier in the year, but he's come back, and he's been playing really well at 246 yards through the air, as well as carrying the ball periodically. But we can't, if you're going to mention Lucas, you've got to start and stop with Grant Barrett. Grant Barrett's been just a model of consistency at 115 carries, 726 yards, 6.3 yards a carry, averaging over 100 in a game, and also has 11 touchdowns. The dude is a stud. And then we got to talk about my favorite guy. I know, as an announcer, should you have a favorite guy? I do. I love my man, Zan Finley. So last time we were here, I believe it was week 3 against Winford.
He had a couple of scores.
The dude was just running people over. So 30 carries, 210 yards, 7 yards a carry, Aaron. So every 2 times he touches it, there's a first down there, also with 4 touchdowns. He's like almost an extension of that offensive line. He is a physical, hard-nosed young man, and that's what Lucas does.
Well, I'll tell you what, you mentioned Zane Finley, 7 a carry, Finello, 7 a carry, Grant Barrett, 6 a carry. How about Grant Barrett?
Right.
Leads the team in tackles with 66, and a third of those are solo. Finello, second on the team in tackles with 54 to get him back.
Right.
Both those guys go both ways.
Yeah, and you look at this, and it's interesting because I just, I'm sitting here looking at our stats that we have, and it's just the polar opposites that you're going to see here tonight. You look at Fort Loramie, 1,961 yards through the air, and then you look at Lucas on the ground, they're at 1,838. Just completely different philosophies coming in. So if you're Lucas, you want to play even or you want to play from in front. If Fort Loramie gets up early, that could be difficult because you're playing from behind, and that's not what Lucas does well. Now, having said that, Aaron, we've covered Lucas quite a bit the last 2.5, 3 years, and getting up on them's hard because their defense, they keep everything in front of them. They're extremely well coached by technique and gap responsibility in the run game, and they keep that offense in front.
Well, we're 1 minute away from football. I know we're going to talk about some keys to the game tonight. And, Eric, I know line of scrimmage is so key in this game.
Well, absolutely. And even though you might be a pass team, when you look at the Redskins here from Fort Loramie, they're going to throw the ball. They're going to whip this thing around the field. It's going to be cosmetically beautiful. Their quarterback's a stud. But the line of scrimmage is going to be huge. And if you're Lucas, looking at that defensive side, who can get in there? You've got, Eric Barino, who's got 3 sacks, and Hunter Rice has 3 sacks. Can they get in on the Fort Loramie offense and get that penetration to get to the quarterback? And then can you tackle well in space, Aaron? There's going to be times you're going to be isolated. Lucas has to tackle well in space.
By the way, does anybody play better pregame music than Lucas?
No, this place gets you fired up. So we talked about Lucas's air attack. And then to finish up the keys of the game, Lucas's version of the RPO. I mean, we would be, I think, remiss if we didn't bring this up, the running people over. For everybody else, when you hear that on, college football Saturday, it's run pass option. And Lucas, it's running people over. So my question is, can Fort Loramie stop that ground game of Lucas that is averaging over 6.5 yards a carry? And we're getting ready to find out.
We are. By the way, both teams score 27 points a game. Fort Loramie allows 27. The Cubs just 13 points. We'll have some more defensive numbers that jump out as we go throughout the broadcast, as Fort Loramie will receive the kickoff here tonight. Aiden Culler has it teed up at the 40-yard line. Back deep, Will Holland and Darren Eilerman for Fort Loramie, and there's the kickoff, and we're underway at Bob Wine Field, fielded by Eilerman at the 4-yard line, across the 20, 25, and he'll be drilled.
Nice stick. And
they're going to drag the pile out near the 25, and he'll go down right there. Good job by the Lucas Cubs getting down the field. Tell you what, good job by the Cubs. Nate Roseberry, among others, in on the stop. Aiden Culler even got down the field, the guy that kicked the ball off to help make that tackle. We're going to see that vaunted Fort Loramie offense first. The quarterback's thrown for about 2,000 yards. And, Eric, a lot of attention. Number 81, Logan Ireland. If
Yes.
people are just joining us, not only the size, but 70 catches on the year.
Yeah, size, catches, speed, he's got it all. And Caleb Maurer does a good job of getting him the ball by scheme.
5 wide receivers on first down. Quick pass is going to be caught and drilled at about the 30-yard line, and I mean absolutely drilled as they got the pass quickly out. It was caught that time by Gabe Meyer. We'll call that name a lot. Second leading receiver, and they'll have it out to the 30-yard line, Eric. So just a very quick pass to get about 5 yards.
Right, and if you're Lucas, they have the 3 down linemen there. They got basically a 3-4 with a cover 2 shell. So that means they got their 2 safeties playing high. They're going to try to keep everything in front of them, rally and tackle.
Second, about 5 to go. Handoff, not a lot of room to operate. The back will fight his way forward. He will not reach the 35, around the 34 is where he will go down. Carrying the football that time, Will Holland. Not a name we really saw a lot early on the stats, but definitely getting the carry right there.
It's a nice carry, picked up about 4 yards, and this is what you want. You want to stay ahead of these chains. You want to have a nice, productive first series drive here in the first quarter. And if you're Lucas, keep everything in front, because a big play is something, you don't want to give up these big passing plays.
3rd and 2 from their own 34. Quick pass, and it's going to lead his receiver too much to the near side of the field. The quarterback that time was going for Ethan Kaiser, the junior. Led him a little bit too much, and it looks to be a 3-and-out for Fort Loramie on their first possession. Lucas able to force the punt here, and I know they're real excited to get that offense back out on the field.
Yeah, that's a huge win there. Get off the field on that first possession, so you got your first 3-and-out of the game. And Aaron, I've always said this, when you're playing explosive teams, you just want 1 3-and-out per half, and Lucas has already accomplished that on the first series.
All right, so Damon Meshner will punt it away for Fort Loramie. It's going to be actually off the face mask of the Lucas return man. The ball is going to go back inside the 30. They'll dive. I believe the Cubs have it, and they do. And a very fortunate bounce for the Cubs. It was Andrew Finello who was returning that punt back in action, hit him right in the face mask, and it could have been disaster, but luckily the Cubs able to scramble and get the ball just outside the 25-yard line.
Yeah, hit right off the mask. And that might have been something. He took his eye off the ball, maybe looking at the coverage. Where is it? Should I fair catch it? Should I try to make a play here? So, and remember, Andrew Finello, he's been banged up here a little bit, so he's coming back off a recent injury. So it's good to have him back out here. You got to field that punt. Aaron, I'm telling you, the hardest thing to do, returning a kickoff's pretty easy. You don't really have that pressure coming down on you. You got to have a special kind of almost, and I mean this in a good way, almost a special kind of crazy to be a punt returner because of what's asked of you.
Well, Lucas has it 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line. They'll hand the football off just in that rugby scrum, and they will just bull their way forward.
I think they gave it to my man Zane.
That was your boy Zane Finley, who disappeared into a sea of people and bulls his way out near the 28-yard line. So the Cubs get a couple on first down right up the middle. I know a concern right now for Fort Loramie was just the physical and stopping that run game.
Yeah, Fort Loramie's got the size. So here's what you got to do. You got to win at the point of attack. If you're even, they're leaving. So you've actually got to get penetration on the offensive side. You've got to be able to move bodies back if you're Fort Loramie tonight. If they can do that, they'll have success.
2nd down and 8. They'll pitch the football coming to the near side, and just nowhere to go there for the Lucas Cubs. Grant Barrett on the carry. May get a yard leaning forward, half yard, put him near the 30, so it'll bring up 3rd down and 7, and so far so good for the Fort Loramie defense. Couple of carries and about 3 yards for Lucas. 9.5 to play, opening quarter. Scoreless. Cubs with their first possession. Fort Loramie went 3-and-out, and Fort Loramie trying to force Lucas a 3-and-out, not where the Cubs want to be, 3rd and long.
No, this is exactly what Fort Loramie would want. They want to put him in a passing situation. If you're Lucas, you want to throw on your terms, not their terms.
3rd down. They'll pitch the football. It's Grant Barrett coming to the near side. Got a block, breaks a tackle, got a home and kitchen supply. First down across the 35. He'll wiggle his way near the 40 for near 11 yards. And again, a first down for the Cubs. They don't normally like 3rd and long, but they got it that time on a very strong run by senior running back Grant Barrett.
Yeah, that's a great job running behind his pads there. Good blocking on the perimeter. If you're Fort Loramie, this is where you've got to get your corners and your safeties have to be a part of this run game. You got to be eye disciplined. Have your eyes on your guy, and then if it's a pass, trust the read. If not, you've got to fly. You've got to get up and be a part of the run game. They did a great job on 2nd down, not so much on 3rd down. First down, Cubs, Grant Barrett. You know, he's a stud. He's a great football player.
1st and 10. They'll pitch it to Noah Langston coming left side, and he'll just kind of foul the blockers through the hole. He'll get 2 out near the 42-yard line. So Noah Langston, his first carry on the evening, and the Cubs just trying to slowly move that ball down the field with 8:27 to play here in the opening quarter. We are scoreless. Eric, as we bring something up and talk about this on the broadcast, if you're a defense, boy, you feel with Lucas, you're out there forever when they have the ball.
Right, and you don't practice this well. I'm just telling you. It doesn't happen. And so far, Darren Eilerman's played really well for Fort Loramie. He's been on just about every tackle.
Double handoff, Barrett to Langston. He's going to work his way through, break a tackle across the 45. He'll hit midfield to be dragged down in Fort Loramie territory at around the 47-yard line. And I'll tell you what, Fort Loramie coming up to make the tackle. He was kind of the last guy, was the safety, also the running back, Jacob Sherman. He doesn't get him. That might have been 6.
Yeah, Jacob Sherman's probably saved a touchdown right there. And that's that double handoff, man. That's that underneath handoff that they do. Every wing T team, you're not going to see anything that you wouldn't see from a traditional wing T team.
1st and 10 from Fort Loramie's 47-yard line. They'll pitch it to Grant Barrett. Not a lot of room to operate. He'll get a couple yards down near the 45-yard line as they unpile. One of the guys off the bottom was the senior defensive tackle, Carson Tenery, in on the stop for Fort Loramie. 7.5 to play, opening quarter. It is scoreless between Lucas and Fort Loramie. WMAN and the OH Report teaming up tonight to bring you live high school football. Hard to believe, week number 9, the playoffs, just 2 weeks away.
Right. Yeah, we're getting close. And, Aaron, with this offense, you look at Lucas's offense, it really does push your defense to be mentally tough.
2nd and 8 from Fort Loramie's 45 to Grant Baird. He's going to break a tackle, bounce it to the outside, down the sideline, inside the 30, and you can kiss him goodbye. 15-10, 5, end zone. Touchdown, Lucas Cubs on a 45-yard run by senior Grant Barrett. Couldn't find it up the middle, bounced it to the outside, and outraced everybody to the end zone.
Yeah, great job there. Good job by the offensive line creating it. The fireworks are going off. We got them early, Aaron. What do we had? About 5 minutes into the game here, and 5-6 minutes into the game, we already got our fireworks going. But great job, Grant Barrett, just bouncing it one gap wider, showing the speed down the sideline as well, kind of erasing any of those angles that the secondary had by the Redskins. And Lucas doing what Lucas does, baby, just touchdown after touchdown on the ground.
Aiden Colors point after. He's up. It is good, and we'll step aside. 7:01 to go, opening quarter. Lucas 7, Fort Loramie nothing. Back in a minute. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
When you're a local business owner, getting your business online can be a painful, expensive undertaking. But it doesn't have to be. With TMS Plus Digital Essentials, you'll get 6 essential services to launch your digital marketing, all for one low monthly price. Cut through the noise of today's digital world. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus. Visit tmsplus.com now for your free digital snapshot and for a chance to win a free 5-page website.
Back at Bob Wine Field, Aaron Hines, Eric Will, WMAN, and the OH Report hooking up for high school football. 7-0 Lucas. Kickoff by Aiden Culler is going to be returned across the 15-20, and he'll be tackled right there. Gabe Meyer on the return that time to the 20-yard line for Fort Loramie, who went 3 and out on their first possession. Lucas able to break a big run, a 45-yarder by Grant Barrett, early nominee, Spitzer Motors game changer. We'll announce that coming up in the post game, courtesy of our good friends at Spitzer Motors, West 4th Street in Ontario. A brand new Kia Forte. You can lease that for just $99 a month, or Eric Will would say $3 a day.
$3 a day,
Spitzer
man.
Motors in Ontario.
Well, so now we're getting into our adjustments now. Each team's had the ball. We've seen the defenses. Fort Loramie's defense now has to figure out the Lucas offense and make their adjustments. So what is the offensive adjustment here that we're going to see from Fort Loramie?
5 wide receivers. The quarterback, Mauer's going to roll to the right. Penalty comes out. Going to throw it. A jump ball near the sideline. It's incomplete. Good job defensively by the Lucas Cubs. Trying to see who was over there for Lucas defensively. I believe defensively, may have been Grayson Jackson over there defensively who knocked it away. Penalty, it looks like it's going to be on Fort Loramie.
Yeah, it looks like we got a hold there on the edge on that little hesitation and then out that looks like the running back kind of hooked the arm on the shoulder pad. And that's a tough block for the running back out there on the edge.
That's a long time,
too.
Well,
the quarterback on a sprint out like that, it just floods. So you're hitting different levels. You're hitting the short flat, the intermediate flat, so about 8 to 12 yards, and then you have one running a go. So he ended up throwing back to the go route. That's generally – I'll be honest with you, the go route just clears the area. That just tells you, am I man or am I zone? And you know, you kind of dissect it there. We got empty here, but man, they're way behind. That's a spot foul, Aaron, so they're clear back. I mean, that's about a 13, 14-yard penalty.
Yeah, I was going to say they're inside their 10 at about the 7-yard line. Pass going to be passed over the middle, going to be caught across the 15 out near the 19-yard line that time. Getting the football for Fort Loramie was Elliott Davis, the senior wide receiver, on a quick pass from the quarterback, Maurer. 6.5 to play. Opening quarter. With 7-0 the Lucas lead. Then he'll get most of that penalty yardage back. Second and about 11. The ball just shy of the 20-yard line here for Fort Loramie.
Elliott Davis with 32 yards on the year, so him getting a target there. He's actually been the last 2 targets.
5 wide for Fort Loramie. Back to pass. They'll throw it right side, jumping the route, tipping the ball, and it's going to be incomplete. Terrific defensive play by the Lucas Cubs. That time on the far side of the field, it was Aiden Culler defensively getting a hand in there and knocking it away.
Yeah, great job by Aiden there, keeping it in front. Good break on the ball. Now, if you, as a defensive back, if you round your step there, you never make that play. He put his foot in the ground. He took, instead of taking 3 steps, to take 1, and then he came in with the right hand, had the left hand on the small back. That's not pass interference. You know, the defense has just as much right to that ball.
That was textbook right there.
Yeah, it was.
Third down and long, pressure on. Maurer's running. He's going to throw it to the sideline. That ball is going to be incomplete as they go away from us into the sideline again. That time they were targeting, that's the big guy, that's Eilerman. They were throwing to the sideline. Good job by Aiden Culler and company. He caught it, but he was into the sideline, was Logan Eilerman, and it's incomplete, bringing up 4th down and 11 for Fort Loramie. The ball inside their own 20-yard line, under 6 to play, opening quarter. 7-0 Lucas, and you can hear some taking care of business behind us.
TCB, baby.
And the Cubs defensively, Eric, you knew they would get challenged here against the pass so far. They've been up to the challenge.
Yeah, that's a big check mark early in this game. I was concerned, you know, as far as just I know that in the past I've seen Lucas against passing teams and they've struggled. So we'll see if Fort Loramie can kind of get some of those things ironed out. But this is kind of danger time a little bit. I know it's early in the game. You know, with a passing offense like Fort Loramie, I don't worry about their ability to put points on the board as the game goes, but the way Lucas controls the game, especially after 2 straight 3-and-outs, which I didn't know if that would happen this early in the game. So if you're the Redskins of Fort Loramie, you've got to get off the field right here. You've got to find a way to get yourself off this field defensively, because you're basically in 4th down territory right now, because Lucas, the way they run the football, you're going to see 4 straight runs here. So if you're Fort Loramie, get Lucas behind the chains. You need another 3rd and long, and then you've got to rally up and tackle. Don't fall asleep.
Well, the punt by Fort Loramie's Damon Mesher goes out of bounds. It'll be at the Fort Loramie 38-yard line. That's where Lucas will take over. They're handed off to Grant Barrett. He'll break a tackle, get inside the 35, wiggle his way down inside the 30 near the 29-yard line. So it's Grant Barrett with a nice run right there, close to 9 yards, maybe 8. See where they spot him. A nice run on 1st down, and as you would say, Lucas on schedule.
Lucas on schedule, 2nd and 1. They literally have their entire playbook. And you know, here's the thing. If you're a linebacker and you're playing a wing T team, if you look in the backfield, you're done. You can't do it. You've got to watch those guards. The guards are going to take you to the football. So if you see Fort Loramie, they got those 2 linebackers. Those linebackers, their eyes have to be on those 2 guards. The guard that you're right over top of, they take you to the ball.
Lucas 1st and 10 from inside the 30-yard line. They'll pitch it right side to Grant Barrett. Penalty marker will come out. He'll get inside the 20, inside the 15 to be rode to the turf at around the 14-yard line, but hang on, a penalty marker thrown back at around the 28-yard line, and let's see, may this be on Lucas?
I don't know, he's talking to Coach Spittler at Lucas almost as if it's on
Fort Loramie.
Fort Loramie.
No, it's going to be a hold on the Cubs.
Right.
So Grant Barrett with a couple of nice runs. That one will be wiped away. Under 5 to play here in the opening quarter, 7-0 Lucas. High school football, the game of the week on WMAN, powered by Stone Ridge in Lexington, where teamwork is one of their top core values. You can join their team at stoneridge.com/careers, and that penalty will back them up just beyond where they started. It'll be at the Fort Loramie 39-yard line.
Yeah, and that's what you want. You got that hold now. If you're Fort Loramie, you got to keep them back here, right? I mean, you can't give up a big second down run here. Make Lucas throw when they don't want to throw the football, because they will throw it. They don't live in that world, but they can do it. So you get those backers, I'm telling you, follow their eyes, follow their reads. Where are the guards going?
They're going to pitch it this time on second
nice
down
play.
and 11. Terrific defensive play. They drag down Grant Barrett, and that's the defensive end, the 6'4 junior, 205, Isaac Ratterman, who they're really excited about, takes him down for no gain.
Yeah, you got to like that play coming from the stud right there, the
defensive end.
Yeah, defensive end there. Well, and he's lined up almost like a 9 technique.
Yeah.
So what that means is he's outside the tackle tight end box, and he's kind of cocked facing in on the fullback. So his job when you're doing those wide 9s like that, that means that the two ends are there to make sure that everything stays inside them. They don't want to spill it. They want to keep everything inside.
3rd and 11 for Lucas, and we are going to have a timeout, and it'll be timeout Cubs. We'll take a quick timeout. Back in a minute. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
When you're a local business owner, getting your business online can be a painful, expensive undertaking. But it doesn't have to be. With TMS Plus Digital Essentials, you'll get 6 essential services to launch your digital marketing, all for one low monthly price. Cut through the noise of today's digital world. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus. Visit tmsplus.com now for your free digital snapshot and for a chance to win a free 5-page website.
Back at Bob Wine Field, that last time out, not a full minute. It was a quick pass to the right for Lucas on 3rd and 11. It was incomplete to the near side of the field, but there is a penalty marker out on the field. I believe it's going to be on the Cubs. I just saw Spencer Wells, the 4th-year coach at Fort Loramie, come out and decline. Did we have somebody downfield? I didn't see what it was.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. They're declining that. I think they're going to want the 4th down here. Now, Lucas obviously been in a situation where, is this a passing situation? It looks like they're bringing out their punt team.
Aiden Culler's going to come out.
This is a good call. I mean, if it was 4th and 5, 4th and 3, you might get a Lucas to go, make this a 4-down situation. But your defense has played so well. Don't spot Fort Loramie with this good a field position when your defense has had 2 straight 3-and-outs.
4th and 11 for Lucas. The ball's at the Fort Loramie 39-yard line. 7-0 Lucas. Just under 4 to play here in the opening quarter. Punt by Culler up in the air quite high. No one back deep for Fort Loramie. It's going to hit inside the 10. Kind of rolled dead right there. Just check up like a good golf shot right there inside the 10, or right on the 10, and that is where Fort Loramie will take over. Now, Fort Loramie had somebody running off the field. Then he thought, oh, no, I'm the 11th man. He came back on. So they were a little bit confused there, and they are backed up deep in their own end. After the game, we'll select who made a heck of a play. It's courtesy of Mansfield's Injury Lawyers. The Heck Law Office's winner will get a medium 2-topping pizza from Giannino's coming up in the postgame.
Well, I think Fort Loramie might have thought they were going for it there, so they kind of were trying to change out their personnel at the last second there.
A lot of confusion. Caleb Maurer in the gun with 3 wide receivers, a back behind him, and he will hand the football off. The back will struggle forward for a couple of yards. Not a lot of room to operate on that carry that time. Again for Fort Loramie was Will Holland, the sophomore, getting the carry. He'll push it across the 10 out near the 12, so he'll get 3 close to 4 yards, setting up 2nd down and about 7 to go here for Fort Loramie. Again, 3:18 to play, opening quarter, 7-0 Lucas. Fort Loramie has went 3 and out their first 2 drives. definitely want to try to get something going here. 3 wide receivers on 2nd down and 7. Quarterback's going to roll to the near side, looks, throws a fastball, knocked away. Terrific defense by the Lucas Cubs. Andrew Finello got a hand in there. They were targeting Gabe Meyer, and he got one paw in there and knocked it away.
Great job there by Finello getting his hand in. That's picture perfect. So you get your boot play action, and you get your levels. It's the same thing as a sprint out, but with the play action. I thought early on, Caleb Maurer might have been able to take off and just run and go get 6-7 yards early. And you can see anytime you get boot out or sprint, the general idea is that your Sam or your Mike backer has the jet blitz on that. It's an automatic.
3rd and 7 for Fort Loramie from their own 11-yard line. Just over 3 to play here in the opening quarter. Pass going to be caught on the far side of the field. That's the big guy, Justin Eilerman. Looks like he didn't quite get the first down. Great open field tackle toward the sideline there by Aiden Culler, who's played very well defensively. Right. It'll bring up 4th down in a good yard and a half here for Fort Loramie at their own 18-yard line. And, Eric, this is decision time. You don't want to give it away here, but they're going to think about it.
Yeah, I think they're going to
take a timeout. We'll keep it right here.
Yeah, if they're taking a timeout, I would assume that they're going to go for this. I doubt if you're going to call a timeout to bring your punt unit out, but they obviously didn't reward Eilerman and stretch there.
How about the tackle by Culler?
Yeah, that was a great tackle, and so now – and maybe it's not a timeout. Maybe they're just measuring. Maybe the coach
you're
asked
right.
for measurement, but
it's like a timeout, right?
Well, which is kind of nice if you're the Redskins here. That's it is a timeout without using one. So they're almost a full yard away here.
Can you really get a measurement when you need a yard and a half? Can you? I mean, yeah.
Yeah, I mean you can request one. Now listen,
somebody might wonder when you can tell.
They don't have to honor it, but if you request it and it's fairly close, they'll sometimes honor it. So we'll see what they're bringing out here, but on that last play, if you're the Redskins, if you're Eilerman, your route has to be to the sticks. You can't be in front of the sticks. Now, it's also incumbent upon the quarterback to make sure you don't throw them back to have to come back to the ball there.
That's a great point.
It just, it's little things like that Coach Wells, I'm sure, that doesn't make him happy. You got to make sure that you're getting that first down. It does look like they're going for it. And I actually, I kind of like the call here because they have had some success running the football. I mean, they've proven that they can go get a yard or two.
Lucas leading 7-0. 4th and 1 for Fort Loramie from their own 18-yard line. They'll hand the football. No, the quarterback's going to keep it. Got a hole off the left side. Got the first down across the 25. He'll be tackled near the 30-yard line. It is a home and kitchen supply first down. As coming up to make the tackle was the free safety, Corbin Toms. But not after he rolls for a good 10, 11 yards out near the 29-yard line. And the quarterback has the most rushing touchdowns on the team, so he can run it.
Yeah, nice job by Caleb Mosier. I couldn't tell if that was an actual read or if that's a called pull, but either way, great job, good execution. That's what they needed. They needed a first down badly there.
1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line, and now they will burn a timeout. We'll keep it right here. 2:31 left here in the opening quarter. 7-0 Lucas again. Here, late stages, first quarter, and a big 4th down conversion for Fort Loramie. Again, they have the football, 1st and 10 at their own 29-yard line. Coming to you tonight from the Wendy's broadcast booth inside the Treehouse tonight. Aaron Hines and Eric Will with you. Wendy's Big Bacon Cheddar finally here. Creamy cheddar cheese, applewood smoked bacon, sweet bacon sauce, crispy onions, that fresh, never frozen beef, all on a toasted cheddar bun. Download the Wendy's app and grab that new Big Bacon Cheddar Cheeseburger today. How about this? We could actually have a Frosty in mid-October. It's
unbelievable. It was
very seasonal out here.
Even today, man, it was in the mid to high 70s, and it was even a little humid. It's kind of even a little humid right now.
Would you like some score updates? Mansfield Senior leads Mount Vernon 6-0 a little over midway through the first quarter. Shelby up 21-0 early on River Valley. And Ashland looks like they were in a weather delay getting underway at home against state-ranked and unbeaten West Holmes. 7-0 Lucas here. Late stages here of quarter number 1. A little throwback pass from the quarterback. He's got it to Holland across the 30, hits the 35. He'll be tackled shy of the 40-yard line. Aiden Culler again coming up to make the stop, but again getting involved in the special teams, in the run game, now the pass game is the sophomore Will Holland.
Will Holland, nice job there. Good play action by the quarterback. They sold it. So you've already run that play a couple times with that boot action, and I like the throwback there. So for the Redskins, good play design, good play call by the coaching staff, offensive staff there, and it was executed really well. If you're going to burn a timeout, it's nice to get 9 yards.
1:50 left here in the opening quarter. Will Holland's going to get the handoff. Got a bit of a hole right side. He'll hit midfield into Cub territory. He'll be dumped down at around the 48-yard line. Will Holland, a home and kitchen supply first down. And for the first time tonight, Fort Loramie has entered Lucas territory just across midfield, and Will Holland getting involved early and often.
Absolutely. And you know who we haven't seen is Jacob Sherman, so I don't know what's going on there. We haven't seen him yet, and he's their leading rusher. But, you know,
I think we saw him once on defense.
Right,
yeah.
and Will Holland's doing an admirable job here. He's running hard, running well.
Handoff this time, and there is absolutely nowhere to go at the line of scrimmage as the Cubs there to stiffen him right there and drop him. As that time in on the stop, it was Andrew Finello who comes up. They'll give him a yard, maybe, give him a yard down to around the 46-yard line. 1:10 left, opening quarter, 7-0 Lucas, but Fort Loramie with their best drive here in the opening quarter.
Yeah, they're doing a nice job here, and that's okay. Keep mixing in that run. Keep Lucas honest. Make sure that they're protecting that box. Otherwise, run the football.
2nd and 9 from Lucas's 46-yard line. The quarterback, Mauer's going to throw a home run ball right side. Double coverage. He was going for Eilerman. Incomplete. He'll overthrow him. Lucas had Culler, and also back deep, he had Corbin Tom, so it was double coverage. They were trying for the big tight end who's got 71 catches on here. But that time, good coverage by Lucas. They had him bracketed.
Well, and that's what you got. You got a corner playing underneath. You've got your safety playing over top. So when you're playing a three-man front of 4 linebackers, you got your cover 2 shell there. So you got your 4 DBs in. You know, to me, this is a run box. So if you're Fort Loramie, don't give up on the run just yet. Like right now, Aaron, that's a 4-man box. You could just basically hat on a hat run your quarterback right now.
3rd down and 9. They'll throw a screen. It'll get it to Will Holland inside the 40. He'll be drilled at around the 39. Really close to a first down, but I don't think he has it. It was Corbin Toms, Andrew Finello, Langston, and others in on the stop. They'll spot him nose of the ball just inside of the 40-yard line. They need a good yard.
Yeah.
It's 4th and 1 here with 23 seconds to play here in the opening quarter. 7-0 Lucas, and they may not run another play here. The play clock is on their side, so we'll see what they do. 4th and about a yard from just inside the Lucas 40-yard line. 10 seconds left. Play clock's at 11. They don't have to run a play. Quarterback in the pistol. 3 wide receivers, 2 to the right. A bit of a hard count. 2 seconds on the clock. There's 1, and that'll be the quarter. After 1, Lucas 7, Fort Loramie driving, but it's still Lucas 7 and Fort Loramie nothing. We'll take a break. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
When you're a local business owner, getting your business online can be a painful, expensive undertaking. But it doesn't have to be. With TMS Plus Digital Essentials, you'll get 6 essential services to launch your digital marketing, all for one low monthly price. Cut through the noise of today's digital world. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus. Visit tmsplus.com now for your free digital snapshot and for a chance to win a free 5-page website.
Fourth down and 1 as we start quarter number 2. The quarterback's going to fake it. He's going to get the first down. Mauer inside the 35, inside the 30. He'll be tripped up at around the 26-yard line. And the second time, a big 4th down play. It's the quarterback, the junior, Caleb Mauer, getting that home and kitchen supply first down, Eric, and he definitely has made the right reads on 4th down.
Yeah, Mauer's doing a really nice job. And like you said, I mean, he's got over 100 yards rushing on the year, so he can do it. And if you're the Redskins here, if Lucas is going to stay with a 3-man front and they're only going to have 2 backers and they're creeping that 6-1, if you go spread, you got a 4- and 5-man box. You can run the football the whole way down the field here.
1st and 10 at the Lucas 26-yard line. They'll hand the football off this time. It'll go to Will Holland. He'll get a few yards, get tripped up. Noah Langston, also J.D. Cox got a hand on him, trip him up. He will roll down.
6-yard gain.
I was going to say, it looks like he's going to roll down to the 20-yard line, so a bit further than I initially thought. So 2nd down at about 4 from the Lucas 20-yard line. They're approaching that Shakely Mechanical red zone. When things heat up at your house, keep your cool and call Shakely Mechanical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling in Ashland. 11 left until halftime, 7-0 Lucas, but Fort Loramie on the move. 5 wide receivers, 1st and 10 from the Lucas 20-yard line. Quarterback running, and he will be taken down for a sack. Knifing in for the Lucas Cubs. It was senior defensive lineman Colin Arnold with a monster sack of the quarterback back outside the 30-yard line.
Yeah, nice job there. I'll tell you what, I'm just a little bit surprised by Fort Loramie here. When they go empty, and take a look at this. When they go empty, it's a 4-man box. It's literally hat on a hat. Look right now, they're empty. You've got you've got, I'll even give you credit, maybe even a 5-man box. You can run quarterback all day against this.
3rd and 15, a little screen, could have been intercepted. It's caught by Eilerman, but it's going to be nowhere near the 1st down, as coming up to make the tackle. Terrific play that time by Braden Jackson, the senior linebacker. Read that baby beautifully at the 35-yard line, and Fort Loramie got to the 20, and since then they've been going backwards.
Right. Well, like I said, here's the thing about Lucas. Lucas, I don't even want to say Lucas is a bend but don't break, because I think they're more aggressive than that. I think that they try to put pressure on every offense they go against. But once the field constricts for an offensive team that throws the ball, that's when Lucas has you. That's why they're avoiding the big play.
Mesher on 4th down is going to boot it away. One of the Cubs got in there and nearly got a hand on it. The punt will sail into the end zone, and Lucas will have it after a touchback. How about that time? Corbin Toms got a fingernail on it, did he not?
Yeah, he got
real close.
There. Yeah, absolutely. Got his hand up. Like you said, he probably lost a pinky nail there. But you know, I like what I'm seeing here. Fort Loramie did a nice job that time. Making their adjustments. Obviously, they want to get in the end zone. If you're Lucas, once again, that's 3 stops for you guys on the defensive side. So, now if you're Lucas, you want to grind out another 3, 4, 5-minute drive, see if you can get a point. Because 2 touchdowns when you're playing Lucas feels like the Gulf of Mexico.
9:34 left until halftime. 7-0 Lucas, 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line. They'll hand the football off. They'll move it to the near side of the field, work his way out near the 25-yard line. I believe it was Finello until they unpile, and it was Andrew Finello on the carry. Give him 5. Out to the 25-yard line. Coming up after the game, we will select our Gander Door Defensive Player of the Game. We've seen some very good defense from the Cubs. Gander Door serving the area with all your residential and commercial garage door needs. They're always in your neighborhood. Visit ganderdoor.com. Cubs to the line. 2nd and 5 from the 25-yard line. Double handoff. They'll work it to the near side. Got a hole off the sideline across the 40. Near midfield. Andrew Finello driving the pile and driving guys inside the 45 and down near the 44-yard line. A man's run by Andrew Finello.
Yeah, welcome back, right? It's good to have him back. And what he does is he just gives you more depth in the backfield. It's a little bit less pressure on Smolin. It's also a lot less pressure on Barrett. You got your guy back. So when you get the 2-headed guy running, and then you throw in, my favorite guy in there.
Zane Finley.
Yeah, Zane Finley.
Your dude.
When you throw him in there, so now you've got, your runaway dump truck with no brakes, as I say, and then you get the speed on the perimeter, also running with power behind their pads. One thing about Lucas is all of their running backs run bigger than they are.
1st and 10 Lucas at the Fort Loramie 43-yard line. Handoff this time to Grant Barrett. He'll wiggle his way for a couple. Good job that time. Calvin Hoying, the junior linebacker, grabbed onto his leg and held on for dear life. He drug him for about a yard. 8:08 to play until halftime. 7-0 Lucas. The Cubs marching again. 2nd down, 9 to go from the Fort Loramie 42-yard line. I thought you made a really good point a moment ago. Most teams, 2 scores, okay, but the way Lucas controls the clock, the way they play defense, down 2 scores, it almost gives you a bit of a panic that you're down more than you are.
Well, it's like I said, this the feel they can beat you 28-0, and you feel like it's way worse than that.
And off to Grant Barrett, and a good job by Fort Loramie. They'll give him forward progress to the 41. Multiple guys in on the stop. The guy that got off the bottom of the pile that time was Damon Mesher, the senior, who had been wearing number 22. He's wearing 33 here tonight. They'll stop him at the 41. That's really 2 good defensive stops in a row by Fort Loramie to bring up 3rd and about 8.
They've got the size to do it. You can see it. They've got some nice-looking players, and they're young. They got a lot of juniors playing on this team for the Redskins.
Cubs on 3rd and 8 will pitch it to Grant Barrett, working right side. He's only going to get to the 40-yard line. Is again terrific defensive play by Fort Loramie. Multiple guys.
Great job by the linebacker there.
I think it was Hoying was in on the stop, among others. They'll put him down at the 40-yard line. So the Cubs got to around the 42, 43-yard line. They've only picked up a couple of yards. It's 4th and about 7 yards to go from the Fort Loramie 40-yard line. 6:42 to go until halftime. 7-0 Lucas. Do you go for it here? That kind of looks like they might.
Yeah, it looks like maybe they'll probably try to draw them off. If you're Fort Loramie, I mean, you're thinking boot all the way here. Some type of boot, but read your keys, Aaron. You know what I mean? Don't stare in the backfield. High hat, low hat out of that offense and defensive line. And if you're a DB, your eyes are on your read. You're going to have a specific read that you're looking at, whether it's a tight end or whether it's some type of a slot. So they're going to tell you what the play is. Just trust your eyes and react. You know, I'll tell you, when you look at this Fort Loramie roster, there's just a lot of juniors sprinkled all over it. You know, we talked about Ratterman. He's a junior. You look at Maurer. He's a junior. Number 7, Nate Berger. He's a junior. There's a lot of nice-looking players.
Well, the big guy, Logan Eilerman, and the quarterback, those two are key. They're both back.
Right, and then you got Darren Eilerman, who's also a junior that's made some plays here at his linebacker spot, number 32.
Well, Hollins play well, just sophomore.
So, for us, getting to, kind of just as we prep for this and we're starting to learn more about Fort Loramie, you can see, they've had a lot of close games that could have gone either way, and this looks like it's going to play out and potentially be that as well.
Lucas, 4th and 7 from the Fort Loramie 40-yard line. Quarterback Smollen's going to roll. It's going to throw it. Left side, got a man out there. Throws it, caught in the end zone. Touchdown on a bomb to Corbin Toms of 40 yards on 4th and 7. Are you kidding me?
Wow. That's unbelievable. Number 33 right there, I believe. Was it number 33 for Fort Loramie? Is that the defender on that?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Oh, my goodness. He was in position. You could even see him turn around and make
Here comes your replay.
Yeah, you could even see him turn around and make a reaction to the ball. He just overran it. Great job by Toms right there, making the adjustment, coming back. And it just, that's one of those ones where Smollen's just putting the ball up in the air and saying, I'm going to trust you to go make a play, and he did. That's a difference maker, man. Because, listen, you don't expect to get that type of play out of your pass game if you're Lucas. When you get that, that's the icing on the cake, man.
Point after by Color is good. We'll step aside. 6:26 to play until halftime. Lucas 14, Fort Loramie nothing. You're listening to high school football on WMAN as the fireworks go off. We're back in a moment.
When you're a local business owner, getting your business online can be a painful, expensive undertaking. But it doesn't have to be. With TMS Plus Digital Essentials, you'll get 6 essential services to launch your digital marketing, all for one low monthly price. Cut through the noise of today's digital world. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus. Visit tmsplus.com now for your free digital snapshot and for a chance to win a free 5-page website.
Rockin' at Bob Wine Field in Lucas. music in the Cubbies offense. They lead 14-0 on a 40-yard bomb a moment ago. Ground and pound, run people over, and also air raid here tonight. Kickoff going to be fielded by Holland for Fort Loramie across the 20-25, and it'll be dumped to the turf right around the 30-yard line. As we welcome you back, Bob Wine Field, the Treehouse here at Heinz. Eric Will, WMAN, teaming up with our good friends tonight at the OH Report with 6:18 to play until halftime. Lucas with a 45-yard touchdown run. And then on 4th down and 7, a 40-yard touchdown from Smolin, who's got the arm. We saw it a year ago. And Corbin Toms is a very athletic kid. Made a great play right there. And Lucas up 2 scores, and you feel for Fort Loramie. They want to score before halftime, Eric.
Yeah, I would say that this is about as close to essential as you can get.
And off to Will Holland, left side, and he will be greeted rudely and dropped to the turf on the far side of the field. Trying to see who that was for the Lucas Cubs on the far side of the field. And in on the stop for the Lucas Cubs that time was Hunter Church from his cornerback spot.
It's good fill.
Very, very good tackle.
Yeah, he gets that run read. That's what I'm saying, man. You got to have your corners. The difference between good and great corners, you know, good corners are going to be able to cover. Great corners are going to be able to cover and play on the run. That's a great job. You got to bring a physicality off that edge. You know, you're a pass-first guy when you're in the secondary, but you got to be able to help on that outside run game, especially if you're the force player. So we got a timeout coming here from Fort Loramie.
Keep it right here. 5:35 to play until halftime. 14-0 is the Lucas lead. Eric and I were just checking out the North Central State College high school football scoreboard at our website, WMANFM.com. NC State can change your life and prepare you to change the world. NCStateCollege.edu. How about Ontario up 17-0 on Pleasant second quarter? That's a big update right there.
Go Warriors,
We can also give you a few other scores here tonight. Let me hit refresh. Mansfield Senior was up a couple of scores early. Shelby was up 21-7 at last report. And let's see if we have any updates for you right now while we wait to get back to action here. Mansfield Senior now up 20-6 in the second quarter. Shelby's up 21-7. Ashland, West Holmes with some lightning, rain, and thunder.
There's a whole bunch of teams rooting for Ashland in that OCC tonight, man.
That's scoreless first quarter. I believe they're just getting underway. Lucas leads 14-0, second and 8. From their own 31-yard line, back to pass. Maurer got hit as he unloaded. Got a man out there. I believe, did he catch it?
Yeah,
I believe he did. Yes, ball is caught by Gabe Meyer, and he will be into Cub territory. Let's see where they spot him. Just inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Maurer got hit right when he unloaded that football. Good catch by the receiver who had a defensive back in the neighborhood.
Yeah, that's a great job there.
On both ends.
Oh, man, throwing that ball back across there. They've had 2 successful plays throwing back across against the formation.
Open Kitchen Supply first down to Lucas 44. Maurer back to pass. He'll roll. Got him down the seam, and he overthrows him that time. Streaking down the middle of the field was Ethan Kaiser, the junior. And I'll tell you what, if he could put a little more air on that, let him run a little bit further, that was 6.
Yeah, put a little rocket on his back. He might have made that. But, you know, here's the thing. At least he threw him open. You know, if you're going to miss out and away from the defense. But, you know, you don't, you know, against this Lucas defense, you just don't get a lot of plays like that where you have a guy running down the field, you know, with him with 5 yards between him and a defender there.
Second and 10 from the Lucas 44-yard line, trailing 14-0. They'll hand the football off. Again, it's Will Holland on the carry. He'll get a couple down near the 42. Under 5 to play until halftime. 14-0 is the Lucas advantage, and a big third down and long. Around 7 yards to go from the Lucas 42-yard line for Caleb Maurer and that Fort Loramie offense, which will have 5 wide receivers, 3 to the right, 2 to the left. And you know he loves to go to Logan Eilerman, who's lined up on the left side, back to pass, looking that way. He'll sling it out there, nearly intercepted by the Cubs. It went right through the hands of the defensive back. It was Aiden Culler who nearly had an interception. It will be incomplete and bring up 4th down and 7. But, boy, would he love that one back.
Absolutely.
Right through his hands.
Yeah, he was trying to throw that in between Toms and Culler. You could see what he was trying to do, put a little bit of air on it. He didn't put enough air on it. And Lucas has done a good job. They basically said, listen, we know Logan Eilerman is their guy. Over 1,000 all-purpose yards. He's got 70 receptions. Anybody else can beat us today but that guy. And so you're seeing him, I mean, he's doubled, if not triple teamed half the time.
4th and 8 from the Lucas 42. Pass to the far side of the field. He's going to be caught. Wow. Good job that time on the far side of the field, bringing it in for Fort Loramie. It was Owen Plyman, the senior wide receiver, got the toes down at around the 32 and goes out of bounds. A Home and Kitchen Supply first down on 4th and long. Good throw and good concentration by the receiver.
Yeah, QB might have even kept it a touch too long. Good design there. If you want to get away from the double team on your number 1, you got to hurt him underneath.
1st and 10 as they're deep in Lucas territory at around the 32. They'll hand it off again to Holland. He'll get a couple of yards. Colin Arnold trips him up. He'll fall inside the 30 at around the 29. So 2nd down, 7 yards to go for Fort Loramie. 4 minutes to play until halftime.
Hey, we got a celebrity up here real quick.
14-0 is the Lucas lead. That celebrity's the guy in charge, the athletic director, who I think may have brought you something to snack on at halftime.
They take care of me,
I know that guy likes you. Handoff.
Nice run.
It'll be to Will Holland. He'll get a short gain near the 25. Actually put him inside the 25, down near the 23-yard line. As right now, 3rd down coming up and about a yard to go here. Actually make it close to 2. As 3.5 to play until halftime. 14-0 is the Lucas lead. And
Taylor Eisman taking care of us, man.
I smell fries.
I do. It's almost like carnival food up here.
Thank you, Taylor.
It just adds more stress and drama to this 3rd and 1.
3rd down and about 1 yard to go for Fort Loramie. Hand the football off. Holland's going to get the first down as he plows ahead. Lucas was there defensively. He didn't need much. Colin Arnold, Thornberry among others in on the stop, but it will be a first down at around the 20-yard line. So they're approaching that Shakely Mechanical red zone. When things heat up at your house, keep your cool and call Shakely Mechanical Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling in Ashland. The Cubs, don't panic, Eric. We've seen Fort Loramie drive.
You know, both teams are well calculated right now. I like what I'm seeing both ways.
Handoff left side to Holland. He'll get a few yards and get drilled on the far side of the field. As that time, Andrew Finello coming up to make a big hit on the far side of the field. He'll have it at around the 17-yard line for Fort Loramie. So 2nd down, about 7 yards to go, 2:40 to go until halftime. 14-0 Lucas, and this would be a big score for Fort Loramie.
Well, you've got to get points if you're Fort Loramie because you're also kicking the ball off to Lucas to start the second half. That's a picture-perfect tackle by Finello, man. That's what you teach right there is that hawk and roll.
2nd down, back to pass, right side. Ball nearly intercepted, knocked away on a terrific defensive play by guess who? Andrew Finello.
Tell me they haven't
got a
missed him.
hand on it and knocked it away. That kid is everywhere here defensively.
Hey, man, he's he's one of their he's the guy they have to have if they're going to make the run that they're going to make, which what we've seen the last 3-4 years out of this team. Regional championships, state Final Four, state finals 2 years ago. You know, they've got to have Andrew Finello healthy and playing football just like he is right now.
3rd down, 7 yards to go for Fort Loramie from the Lucas 16-yard line. Over 2 to play until halftime. Handoff. Holland's going to cut it back, work his way near the first down.
It's a nice cutback.
Beautiful play right there by Will Holland. Lucas able to take him down. Does he have enough? He does. He's going to be right on the 10-yard line. Noah Langston on the tackle. It is 1st and goal Fort Loramie at the Lucas 10-yard line. 2:10 to go until halftime. 14-0 Lucas, but Fort Loramie is knocking on the door.
Yeah, and they've done a nice job in their last 2 drives. The last one obviously led to a turnover on, a punt, but, you know, and then this one right here leading to hopefully points for them before they get into the half.
3 wide receivers. They'll hand it off to Holland up the middle, bull his way down at around the 5-yard line. I don't think he quite got to the 5. Lucas able to be there in numbers and slow him down. Grant Barrett and others. Where are they going to put it? Just shy of the 5-yard line. So just nose the ball just outside the 5. So call it 2nd and goal from about the 5. 90 seconds to play until halftime. 14-0 Lucas. Again, big drive for both teams. 3 wide receivers, Fort Loramie. 2 to the left, 1 to the right. 2nd and goal from the Lucas 5-yard line. Snap, handoff. Quarterback's going to keep it, and Lucas did a great job off the left side. He will not get it. I'll tell you what, the Cubs off that left side, big Colin Arnold got a paw in there and took him down.
Yeah, the senior on senior night, 222 pounds, Colin Arnold making the play. That play had hurt him the previous two that had moved the chains, and now they did a great job of keeping things in front of them, securing the tackle, creating now a 3rd and a long goal from the 4-yard line.
Yeah, just inside the 5, 47 seconds to play until halftime. Snap. Quarterback back, right side, corner of the end zone. The ball's knocked away. They were going for Eilerman and getting a hand on it, knocking it away. Aiden Culler, who has played terrific here tonight. Eric,
yes, he has.
I'll tell you what, the Lucas defensive backs, as they'll bring up 4th down and goal from about the 5, how good have their DBs been?
You know, a couple different things here as I look at that. I think we got a time. Well, I don't know if we do or not. But anyways, I like the play call. I really do. Throwing the ball to your 6'4". Now, what do you want from your quarterback if you're Caleb Maurer? You want to put more air on that thing and give your 6'4" receiver a chance to go up and get it. Now, let's look at this from a defensive perspective. It couldn't have been played any better. The defensive back did a great job of going up, timing it, smacking it down. Don't worry about the interception. Just get the ball down to the ground. Now, if you're Lucas, you got one play. If you get out of here with a 14-0 lead and getting the ball coming out of the half, that does not spell well for Fort Loramie.
4th and goal from the 5-yard line. Back to pass, right side, corner of the end zone. They got him open. Touchdown, Fort Loramie.
Huge.
As they got a man back there, was Damon Mesher who catches it in the right corner of the end zone. The Cubs could not get a guy out there. A 5-yard touchdown pass comes with 35 seconds to play until halftime, and Fort Loramie has cut that 2-touchdown lead in half.
Hey, great job by Maurer there getting the ball. Just by formation, I like what they did there. They kind of almost had like a deuce bunch, and then they just kind of worked out. And then what they did, Aaron, was they attacked the front of the goal line and then the middle of the end zone. Very well executed by the Redskins there, and that was needed. I mean, if you're going to stay in this game moving into the second half, I know as crazy as that sounds, because even if you go on 14-0, you know, some people might think, well, that's a little crazy. Well, no, the way Lucas plays, they just slow the game down so much.
Fort Loramie's going to go for 2. The quarterback's going to roll to the right. 2-point conversion is good. He throws it into Darren Eilerman, the junior. He makes the catch. 2-point conversion is good, and they've trimmed the Lucas lead. Hang on.
We got a flag.
Do we
in the end zone.
Okay.
Now what's the call here? Well, we'll have to watch the official here. Let's see what we got. Oh,
ineligible man downfield.
That is a kick right there. Yeah, that was so well executed and got exactly what you wanted. So obviously, you know.
Boy, I'll tell you what, if you're Fort Loramie, yikes.
See, we don't, like I said, we don't get to cover Fort Loramie, so we don't know if they kick. Is this something they normally do? Like when we cover, you know, just by being in the area, we know Bellevue always goes for 2. You know what I mean? They don't ever kick. So maybe they're in that situation as well.
Well, yeah.
Looks like we're going for it here. We got a trips bunch here as well as deuce up top. So we got an empty, but it's real tight, which tells me they're going to be working out.
At about the 8-yard line, they'll go for 2. Pass left side, got a man out there, and he caught it. 2-point conversion is good. Left corner of the end zone that time for Fort Loramie. They got it to Owen Plyman, not once but twice, and this one counts. No penalty markers, and they've trimmed the Lucas lead to 6 points. 35 seconds to play until halftime. Lucas 14, Fort Loramie 8 in a big drive for Fort Loramie.
Yeah, very well executed. Great job. You know, if you're Lucas defensively there, just by alignment, what are they trying to do? Well, we're either trying to attack the perimeter, the outside, or we're going to hit crossers. So what you've got to do is, if you're the outside, if you are the cornerbacks in that situation, you've got to protect the flats. Allow your linebackers and safeties to handle the crossers there. You can switch those things, because if you don't, you're going to get beat by alignment, because what happens there is you have nothing to protect you from the outside if your corner's not doing it, or whoever's got your leverage to the outside. So I like the play design for Fort Loramie, especially because they came back to it again. You know, we had just seen it really the play before.
High school football all season long on WMAN, powered by Stone Ridge in Lexington, where teamwork is one of their top core values. You can join their team at stoneridge.com/careers. 35 seconds to play until halftime. Lucas 14, Fort Loramie 8, as Fort Loramie will kick the football off. And Ratterman will boot it. It'll
thing roll,
kind of
baby.
squib to the right inside the 20. Be tracked down at about the 11-yard line across the 20. Bit of a crease and then a great open field tackle that time by Fort Loramie. And one of the big guys hustling down the field. And a terrific tackle in the open field by Fort Loramie. That was Carson Tenery, the defensive tackle. Made a big open field tackle, I'll tell you what.
Yeah, he's got his DNA all over that one.
Just
bam, right there. I mean, that is like, well, and here's the thing.
You didn't see him coming. He came from the
that's
side.
one of those ones, you know, when I was growing up, they called that the old ear hole shot right there because he doesn't see him coming. And, yeah, those feel good because you get to feel the person's body kind of collapse underneath your body weight there. I'll tell you what, Fort Loramie's come here. Guys, you have to understand it's a 2.5-hour drive, man. You get off the bus and you play this type of offense, you got to give them credit. And they're going into halftime with the momentum. So, Fort Loramie, good job, man, on the drive. Not only the drive over here, but obviously that drive right there to end the half.
And they're that close to Indiana, 20 miles from the border, so it's a long trip. 30 seconds to play here until halftime. Lucas, a little throwback pass that got Finello across the 30 sideline, and he'll be rolled out of bounds across the 35-yard line. It was Nate Berger, who is one of their top tacklers.
Yeah. Good ball player.
Yeah, he made the tackle across the 35. They'll spot him at around the 37-yard line with 22 seconds to play until halftime. 14-8 Lucas. Cubs still have a couple of timeouts, and Smolin has a very good arm. Aiden Culler has a good leg.
Hey, they're coming out here. Coach Spittler says, you know what, we can throw the ball around the yard a little bit too.
We may be ground and pound, but we can throw it.
Yeah, I like the design of that play. I like the throw. I like anything that does misdirection.
1st and 10, Smolin. Going to roll to the right, going to throw. Finello again caught it. Great defensive play and a tackle toward the sideline. That's the guy that caught the 2-point conversion. Owen Plyman, the cornerback, makes the tackle across the 40-yard line at around the 41. Coach Spittler, with 14 seconds, will walk out on the field and burn a timeout. We'll keep it right here. 14-8, the Lucas lead as we approach halftime. I do want to remind you all throughout the high school sports season, we will be selecting our iHeartRadio Athlete of the Week, presented by the Neocady Insurance Agency of Ashland and Norwalk, specializing in auto, home, life, and business insurance. You can get a free quote at neocadyinsurance.com. That's neokadey insurance.com. How about our last 2 athletes of the week? Crestview football player Connor Morse. Boy, they got a big one tomorrow night.
Big one tomorrow.
He has over 1,000 yards and 21 touchdowns. And Mansfield senior quarterback Brock Hill, who accounted for 5 touchdowns in their monster road win last week.
Yeah, he balled out. He did a great job. That's a big win because that solidifies a number 2 spot. And who knows if somebody can trip West Holmes up? Who knows? Maybe Ashland catches lightning in a bottle tonight and shocks West Holmes. And Mansfield senior would love nothing more to get back into that race.
All right, Lucas. 2nd down and 5. Will throw the football. Finello's got it into Fort Loramie territory. It came from the quarterback Smolin. He'll put the toes down and get out of bounds at the 47-yard line with 8 seconds to play until halftime. And so the Cubs will get to the line of scrimmage. WMAM, the OH Report. Glad to have you here. High school football week 9, 14-8 Lucas. Cubs again, 1st and 10. The ball at the Fort Loramie 47-yard line again. 1 timeout, but just 8 seconds to play until halftime. 2 receivers to the right. Smolin, the snap. He'll roll to the right. He'll fire a seed. Caught. Finello, great catch toward the sideline. Got out of bounds with 1 second on the clock. He'll go out of bounds at the 37-yard line. 1 second to play. They'll burn their final timeout, and Coach Spittler is going to draw something up here.
He's going to draw something up to get himself in the end zone. Well, hey, listen, Fort Loramie on the last one was in position. They've just got to make sure that they, execute from the secondary standpoint. Yeah, I mean this
is really good practice for a team like Lucas that runs it a lot to be in that 2-minute.
Or every team. I don't care if you run the ball 90% of the time. Every team has to have a 2-minute offense. I don't care who you are. I don't care if it's 5 to 10 plays. That these are our we call it NASCAR. We're going to go fast.
Yeah, I like
right?
that.
There's basically 3 different speeds. You got your NASCAR, which is your fastest. You've got your tempo, and then you got your slow down. And right now, they've picked it up, and they've done a great job of using the sidelines. They burn a timeout there just to get on the same page. They didn't even have to use it because they got out of bounds.
Aiden Culler is going to attempt a 52-yard field goal.
Well, you don't see this too often, so we might want to get ourselves all geared up and geeked up for this. If I'm Fort Loramie, I might put a guy back on the 1-yard line.
Kick on the way, and that kick is just short. I mean, he just missed it.
He couldn't have been but a yard or two short. I want to check it out. We get this replay.
We got a replay.
Let's see it.
Good snap, good hold, and the kick comes up, Eric, just a little bit shy. It was on target.
I'll tell you what, it was on target. I tell you, it would have been good from 50.
Yeah.
It'd have been good from 50.
Hey, you don't see a lot of 50-yard attempts in high school. I'll tell you what, great first half as the clock expires here in Cub Country at Bob Wine Field. Aaron Hines, Eric Will, WMAN, teaming up with our friends tonight at the OH Report. A very exciting first half of play. We will step aside. We'll come back, run down some of the first half numbers in this football game, and get you ready for the second half. As we step aside, we mentioned good first half. Lucas comes out with the ball in the second half. I'll leave you with this note. Lucas all year has allowed 2 touchdowns in the first quarter. They allowed nothing in the first quarter tonight. They've allowed 1 score all year in the third quarter. Starting the game, starting the second half. You can tell that's very key for this football team.
It'll be huge. So if you're Fort Loramie, what are you going to do? You're going to make your adjustments. You've got to get off the field defensively. What do we always say? Mac Brown, I know I say this just about every week. Last 4 minutes of the half, I got to give that right now to Fort Loramie. But now what's going to the first 4 minutes of the second half going to look like? Lucas has consistently owned that. So can they get down the field and get a score? Because that 2-point conversion, that could be the difference in the game. So if you're Lucas, stay ahead of the chains, go in here, make your adjustments. The first series for both teams in the third quarter is going to be huge for setting the second half tone.
Lucas will get the first opportunity in quarter number 3. And we do have an update for you that the Ashland Arrows lead West Holmes 7-0 in the second quarter. We thank you for that update.
Yeah, my dad sent me a text. He's like, hey, Luke, Ashland's up 7-0. Well, and it's in the second quarter. I know there's a lot of teams that are really – and here's the thing.
There's a lot of interest, right?
Here's the thing. You were saying it on the way over. If Ashland takes care of business, if they would win out, they get a piece of that crown.
How about this? If the Arrows win tonight against West Holmes and they win next week against Worcester, not only would they get in the playoffs – and win a piece of the conference title, they could host a playoff game.
Yeah, they can host a playoff game and be a league champion.
Because of so many computer points. That's how crazy weeks 9 and 10 could be. Halftime, a good one here at Bob Wine Field in Lucas. It is Lucas 14 and Fort Loramie 8. We'll step aside. Halftime festivities coming up next. We'll be back and give you all the numbers on the first half. Once again, halftime here in Lucas. It's 14-8, Lucas on top. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not both?
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
When you're a local business owner, getting your business online can be a painful, expensive undertaking. But it doesn't have to be. With TMS Plus Digital Essentials, you'll get 6 essential services to launch your digital marketing, all for one low monthly price. Cut through the noise of today's digital world. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus. Visit tmsplus.com now for your free digital snapshot and for a chance to win a free 5-page website.
Halftime in Cub Country here at Bob Wine Field in Lucas, where the news is good for the locals as Lucas has a 14-8 lead over Fort Loramie here at halftime. WMAN, the OH Report, teaming up tonight to bring you live high school football. Week 9 of the season. And Eric, a very entertaining first half as we run down through the scoring summary. Lucas got on the board first at the 7:01 mark of the opening quarter. Grant Barrett couldn't find anything inside, bounces to the outside. A 45-yard touchdown run, point after good by Aiden Culler, made it 7-0. That's how we ended the opening quarter. At the 6:26 mark of the second quarter, it was 3rd and long, and the Cubs dialed up a 40-yard pass from quarterback Andrew Smullen to Corbin Toms, who took it away from a defender 40 yards out, point after by Aiden Culler. Good, made it 14-0 Lucas. But Fort Loramie made a big, long drive in the final moments of the first half. Late second quarter, 35 seconds to play, a 5-yard touchdown pass from the quarterback. And it was Caleb Maurer throwing it into the end zone, and it was caught by Damon Mesher. They went for 2 twice.
Yeah.
They got them both.
Got 'em
Only
both.
1 counted. The first one had a penalty, an illegal man downfield. The second one went to Owen Plyman. It was good, 2-point conversion. It made it 14-8. Aiden Culler attempted a 52-yard field goal with 1 second to play, and had it been from 50, it would have been good. It came up a couple yards short. And here we are at halftime, Lucas 14 and Fort Loramie 8. Very entertaining first half.
Yeah, it's been a great, it's been kind of 2 swings. Really, Lucas owned the first quarter, almost quarter and a half, and then Fort Loramie did a nice job. Their final 2 drives produced quite a bit of yards. Obviously, the last one produced a touchdown, which is exactly what they needed to take that momentum into the half. You know, like I said, the first few minutes here of this second half is going to be huge for both teams, so who's going to kind of take this momentum? You know, Lucas has been so good in the second half of these games, and Lucas prides themselves on halftime leads and being able to run the clock, ground and pound, get out with a victory. And so you've got an opponent coming in. I really believe this, Aaron. That 2.5-hour drive and then just figuring out the Lucas offense. This is something you can't practice. I'm just telling you. It takes you a while to figure it out. So we'll see how well that what was said at halftime, and can Fort Loramie, you know, now that they've been off the bus, they've gotten acclimated. You know, this game's kind of got a feel to it. You know, how well will they respond in the second half, being able to stop that Lucas offense here on the first possession?
Players back out on the field, probably a good 3 minutes away from the start of quarter number 3. And halftime update, thank you, as it
Jake
looks
Furr,
like
baby.
all over it. Everyone was looking. We listed a bunch of scores. Nobody could find Lex Madison.
But Jake could.
But Jake Furr can,
Right.
and it's all Minutemen, 36-0 at halftime as they're trying. I think they've lost 3 in a row. Heartbreaker a week ago.
Yeah.
Ashland got an
Right.
onside kick and scored with seconds to play
Right.
to beat the Minutemen, and I know they want to bounce back
Well,
and finish strong.
I'm telling you, I said this at the beginning of the year. Actually, it was us 3. It was me, Jake, and you. We were sitting in your office, and we were talking about our preseason and going through our conferences. And, you know, for me, I knew Lexington would have a bounce-back year. I actually think that they are better than their record. I mean, they played Mansfield tough all the way down to the wire. I mean, Mansfield probably deserved that win. They outplayed them for 3.5 quarters, but for Lexington to, you know, make that comeback in the fourth quarter.
They hung with West Holmes for a long time.
They hung with West Holmes the entire time. You know, they played well against Worcester. You know, they've had a West Holmes. You know, they've had a great season. Coach Gerhardt's putting his imprint on that program, and unfortunately for Madison, they've played more competitive this year too, but I think they do have an angry Lexington team right now, you know, that they're playing against tonight, because Coach Gerhardt, I do know this about him, when he gets you down, he's not going to welcome you back up with open arms.
You can find all the scores
That's
here,
right.
here at halftime, post-game as well on the North Central State College high school football scoreboard at our website. NC State can change your life and prepare you to change the world. ncstatecollege.edu. Players back out onto the field. We have to have a shout-out, a tip of the cap to Lucas Athletic Director Taylor Eisman, who brought up fries, hot dogs, and I hear bratwurst,
Jory. Yeah,
water.
Jory. Yeah, Jory's up here. We had hot dogs. It felt like festival food.
It smelled really good going to halftime.
Jake and I almost had to fight over the last. It was almost like a bride, like a dog bride. The thing was really, really good. I've said this. This is one of my favorite venues that we cover in North Central Ohio. If you have never been to Lucas, you are missing out. I think Jory even said this is her first time here.
Fireworks, music.
Fireworks, the music, just the setting, the crowd. Seriously, you have in this southeast part of the county, you kind of get these rolling hills. The cell phones are working too.
Improved signal.
It is unbelievable. I'm telling you, there is technology just rolling on here. Your phone working well, Jake? Jake's rolling. And see, normally we have to, because Jake's a tall guy. Jake's like 6'5", so we almost, if he had 3 hands, he could hold 3 phones up in the air trying to get cell phone service. But no, I really do. I love Lucas. They are first class down here. They always take care of us. And they're fun to cover because they're obviously so good. And they'll play anybody anywhere. I mean, you're getting a team 2.5 hours away that's closer to Indiana, than it is to probably half the teams they play in Ohio. And Fort Loramie's got a nice, proud tradition as well. That's a really nice school, good school district, very competitive. I just enjoy the fact that you get to play teams that you don't generally get to see, and we're blessed because we get to see a lot of teams from around the state when they play Lucas.
Lucas has a 14-8 lead as we start the third quarter. Really interesting. I talked with Zach Gardner last week, the head coach at West Holmes, and this would apply to Fort Loramie and Lucas. He said you can't be afraid to play good people.
That's right.
So many teams now, you're afraid to schedule somebody because you might lose, because good competition makes you better. Lucas, Fort Loramie, you think about a West Holmes, other teams that we cover. When you play good people, it makes you a better team.
Yeah, West Holmes played Shelby last week. It's non-conference. Listen, with 16 teams making the playoffs now, if you're a good team, you're getting in anyways. And I know that you're not going to get those points if you don't play those caliber of teams. And it's good for the fans. It's good to see where you're at because, listen, Aaron, it's better to find deficiencies before the playoff run starts. And it also, when you play these types of games, it's not affecting your league standing. Now, for both of these teams, they're not in leagues. So why would you not play a game of this caliber?
And they both have big games next week.
Yes,
we'll get to that in just a moment. Fort Loramie will kick the ball off to Lucas to start the third quarter. It barely gets to the return man. He'll get it across the 30 and be tackled right there. Logan Toms was fielding it, barely got to his feet. Died. He was able to pick it up and get across the 30-yard line and go down right there. Next week, by the way, Fort Loramie takes on Lima Central Catholic. Lucas has Mogador, so big one tonight, big ones next week, and then the postseason begins. So they're going to feel battle-tested when they get to week 11.
And I think both teams would. If you're Fort Loramie, if you can get 2 straight wins here, you're knocking on that door as well because you've lost. Like I said, 3 of your 5 losses are to excellent teams. I think there's, 1 loss between the 3 schools. Maybe it's something like that.
And by a total of 5 points, 3 of those losses. Lucas will start it. They'll hand it off up the middle like a rugby scrum. He will disappear. Trying to see who actually had the football. May have been your boy had the ball. I think it's Zane Finley as they unpile. I believe, it was Zane on the carry, and one of the Cubs on the line. I think it was J.D. Cox, got up a little bit slow. Looks like he's going to be okay. Give him about 3 yards on the carry, so 2nd down and 7. The ball at the 33-yard line of Lucas, just underway. 40 seconds into the third quarter, 14-8 is the Lucas lead. Smullen under center, line set. They'll hand the football, and they'll bring it to the near side. It's Andrew Finella, works his way, breaks a tackle across the 40. He'll be taken down right there. A home and kitchen supply first down. Damon Mesher, not Mesher, in on the stop. Thought it was 33. It's 53. Calvin Hoying, the junior linebacker, in on the stop for Fort Loramie to the 41-yard line. Again, a home and kitchen supply first down. Andrew Finello missed a couple of games, being injured. He has made his mark here tonight.
Yeah, he's made his imprint. He's had a great defensive game, making tackles, batting balls down. Now you're seeing the presence on the offensive side. We saw the screen pass before the half as well, which set up the long field goal.
1st and 10, Lucas at the at their own 41-yard line, trying to get toward midfield. They'll hand the ball to the near side. It's Finello across the 45. He'll be taken down shy of midfield. In on the stop for Fort Loramie. Nate Berger, the linebacker, their 2nd leading tackler, put him down at the 48-yard line. So the Cubs with a nice chunk bring up about 2nd and about 3. And as you mentioned, on schedule, when
Yes.
they're getting 5, 6, 7 yards to carry, this offense gets real difficult to handle.
Well, you can't beat them. I mean, you won't, Aaron. If they're gonna get 5, 6, 7 yards a pop, you're not going to beat them because they're going to control the tempo. They're going to control the game. They're going to put pressure on your offense to score every single time, especially playing from a lead.
Lucas, 2nd down, approaching midfield, 3 yards to go. They'll pitch it to Grant Barrett. He'll fight his way, trying to break a tackle. He'll get into Fort Loramie territory, put him down just across midfield, maybe knee down right at midfield. They will. They'll put him right down at midfield. He will not have the first down. He'll need less than a yard to get a first down. So 3rd down, half a yard to go, 9.5 to play, 3rd quarter. Lucas 14, Fort Loramie 8. And for Lucas right now, kind of what they live for, right?
Absolutely. This is exactly where they want to be. This is what they live for. And if you're Fort Loramie, those front 4 better get a push.
They're ready to go at the line of scrimmage. They'll hand the football off. They're actually going to work it to the near side. It's Finello into Fort Loramie territory. He'll be tackled. Going to get a home and kitchen supply first down at around the 45-yard line. One of the guys in on the stop was Jacob Sherman, the senior safety, but not after. 5 yards and a home and kitchen supply first down.
Hey, like I said, death by 1,000 cuts when you start. This team just seems to wear you down. Inevitably, it's just a sledgehammer for 4 quarters. So sometimes you play well early. Sometimes you're okay in the middle, but can you handle the grind of just pitch, sweep, numbers, all of those things that play, and then you get the inside, the outside. It's just a grind on a defense.
14-8, Lucas, 1st and 10 at the Fort Loramie 45-yard line. Now they'll throw it over the shoulder, caught by Finello. Great throw, great catch. Inside the 30, and it'll be rode to the turf and around the 25-yard line. How about dropping that one over his shoulder?
That's a great pass by Smolin there. Listen, that's throwing when you want to throw, Aaron. That's a first down throw. They had success early in this half, and so that opened wide up. So as soon as your eye discipline defensively goes weak, Lucas is going to take advantage of it. They prey on that stuff. 5 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards, 3 yards, boom, here comes your pass. It's a lot to take in.
18 yards on the throw and catch, 1st and 10 at the Fort Loramie 27-yard line. Cubs going to fake it this time, and Smolin's going to drop back to pass. Going to throw one down the seam. Got a man in the end zone. It's Finello. Did he catch it in the back of the end zone? Are you kidding
Get yourself,
me?
boy.
Andrew Finello. What a catch. What a throw. And there's your air raid Cubs on a 27-yard strike. Smolin to Finello.
Man, that's unbelievable. Like that is a picture-perfect pass. You get the fake on the boot. He comes back, sets his shoulders, elbows underneath, nice throw. I mean, you couldn't hand the coverage is there.
Man.
That is an incredible pitch and catch. That's just, I mean, if you're Fort Loramie, that's exactly what you want them to do. And when they execute it like that, that's just, man, like I said, that's even more than icing on the cake, man.
Point after by Aiden Culler, up and good. We'll step aside. 8:40 to play, 3rd quarter. Lucas 21, Fort Loramie 8 as the fireworks go off at Bob Wine. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
When you're a local business owner, getting your business online can be a painful, expensive undertaking. But it doesn't have to be. With TMS Plus Digital Essentials, you'll get 6 essential services to launch your digital marketing, all for one low monthly price. Cut through the noise of today's digital world. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus. Visit tmsplus.com now for your free digital snapshot and for a chance to win a free 5-page website.
Back at Bob Wine Field after a 27-yard throw and catch. Smolin to Finello. Lucas back up by 2 scores. Colors kickoff going to roll dead inside the 8-yard line. Picked up by Holland across the 15-20. And he'll be dropped to the turf at the 20-yard line. We just got a score update from Jake Furr. Clear Fork is trailing 10-8 to Marion Harding. That has reached halftime. I know Shelby up, last report, 33-13. And what's being reported as a monsoon in River Valley.
And we're bone dry up here in Covey country, baby, so we'll take it. I like it.
Fingers crossed. The radar's showing rain maybe a little after 9, so if that clock keeps rolling, we may
dodge one here.
We're trying to. 8:35 to play, third quarter. Lucas 21, Fort Loramie 8. Fort Loramie to the line, 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. They'll hand the football off, and the back's going to be grabbed and swallowed up. Colin Arnold grabbed Owen Kleiman and took him down for a 5-yard TFL back to the 15.
Yeah, Calvin Hoying there just kind of whiffed on his block, and Colin Arnold was the beneficiary of that.
He hasn't whiffed tonight.
He has not whiffed tonight. He's a great ball player.
Yeah,
he does
really
a really
well.
nice job on that right defensive end. If you get that block, that's going to be a nice play. So, it's just right now it's about execution. It's got to be on point.
8 to go here in the third. Second down, about 14 yards, 15 yards to go. They'll throw one down the seam and just let him a little bit too much near midfield. Incomplete. They threw the home run ball down the middle to Elliott Davis, who had a step on his man and led him by just a little bit too much. He drops that one in midair, and that's a score.
Yes, absolutely. And he's had a couple like that tonight that he's missed long. And just a little bit more touch on that ball, a little bit more air, let your receiver run underneath it. But Lucas is doing a nice job. They're making every throw be perfect. The difference is Smolin's had receivers make 2 great catches to help his cause tonight.
Third down and 15, Fort Loramie at their own 15-yard line. Blitz is on. Noah Langston chasing the quarterback. He'll roll, he'll throw. The receiver dives and cannot bring it in. Going for the football was Gabe Meyer. He sprawled out at around the first down marker at the 30, but couldn't bring it in. Maurer, the quarterback, had to roll because Noah Langston was in hot pursuit.
Yeah, that had to have been a throw. Now listen, he's sprinting out to his left, and he has to kind of throw almost back to his right. That's a tough ask, especially for a right-handed quarterback. That's not a natural throwing motion. Hey, how about Lucas here? This is danger zone time if you're Fort Loramie. It is 100%. Cannot give up any points here, or it's going to be doom and gloom because you're going to have a hard time, having enough possessions in the second half to score.
4th and 15. You hear the and the punt is actually going to be fumbled by Finella. One of the Cubs trying to jump on it, and I think he has it. He does. Terrific play on special teams for Lucas. Is coming up with the football that time was Hunter Church, who made a really nice play earlier, knocking a ball away. Finello not able to field that punt at midfield.
I think that might have been Noah Langston. I think that was number 13, if I remember correctly, if we get a replay on that.
I thought it was 3. Let's check it out.
I'm pretty sure it's 13.
No, it's Hunter Church.
Yeah.
Yep, Hunter Church.
Okay, perfect.
Yep, Hunter Church. I think Noah Langston was right behind him.
Right.
And so Lucas, boy, that would have been a big break for Fort Loramie. Cubs will take over just shy of midfield. 7:38 to play here. Third quarter, 21-8 is the Lucas lead. They'll pitch it, double handoff. Barrett hands it off to Finello, and he can't wiggle his way through about 5 bodies in the middle of the line, and Fort Loramie will shove him back. Gets a short gain down to around the 49, but a good job by the middle of that Fort Loramie defense. And tell you what, they just shoved him right back. Guy getting up the bottom of the pile was Lane Frilling, 6'5", 185 senior, right there in the middle.
Yeah, great job there. That's reading your keys. Once again, those 2 linebackers, they're basically lined up over the guard. Get the guard that's in front of you and follow him. He's going to take you to the ball when you're playing a wing T. Don't look at anything else except your window if you're a Fort Loramie linebacker.
2nd and 9, Lucas at the Fort Loramie 49-yard line. Under 7 to play, third quarter, 21-8 the Lucas lead. As they hand the football off, Finella working to the near side. He's been really good running left inside the 45, and he'll be shoved out of bounds and step out inside the 40 at the Fort Loramie 39-yard line. A Home & Kitchen Supply first down, and when the Cubs have ran to that near side with Finello, it's really been dynamite.
Yeah, that's just basically a numbers game there. The quarterback, Smolin, pitches it back and becomes a blocker. And here's what you have to understand with that. If you're a defender on that, you cannot backdoor that. You've got to work over top of that because if you don't have someone setting the edge, so in this defense, it's probably going to be your corner. So if your corner corner doesn't set the edge and keep everything inside tight, then pursuit can't get to it. And if that pursuit works underneath there, and it has no chance to make a play.
Lucas 1st and 10. They'll fake the pitch. The quarterback, Smollen's going to keep it, get a few yards ahead, and then be shoved back. And there's going to be a penalty as the defender just kept driving him back at around the 45-yard line, and the penalty marker will come out.
Right, that's going to be a personal foul.
He got a couple of yards down to the 37, and then I guess as a defender, you just kind of have to know when you got to let go.
Well, yeah, and the whistle was blowing. I mean, that's a good call.
That's a good 10 yards behind the play.
Yeah, I mean, you just, listen, I appreciate the aggressiveness. What you can't do is you got to have a little bit of awareness, understand you're driving them back. And here's the other thing, too. I know the quarterback's a runner there, but they're going to protect the quarterback definitely as well. Like you just said, I appreciate the aggressiveness, have a little bit of field, and have a little bit of spatial awareness of what's going on. And they did blow the whistle quite a few times.
And I'll tell you what, Eric, if Lucas, who now has the ball inside the 25 at the Fort Loramie 24, one more score would be big.
Man, I think it'd be just about damning to any type of comeback.
6:25 to play third quarter. 21-8 Lucas, 1st and 10. Double handoff. Barrett to Finello. Tries to wait. Gets blockers. Tries to squirt through the middle. There's just nowhere to go. He'll get about a yard. And he'll be taken down right there as they unpile off the bottom. Ratterman, their big 6'4" defensive end, Isaac Ratterman, took him down for about a 1, maybe 2-yard gain. As we're halfway through this third quarter, high school football, the game of the week, powered by Stone Ridge in Lexington, where teamwork is one of their top core values. You can join their team at stoneridge.com/careers. As the Cubs to the line of scrimmage, WMAN tonight in the treehouse here in Lucas.
Having a good time.
Teaming up with the OH Report. Glad to bring you live high school football on week number 9. Hard to believe the finale next week, and then 16 teams in each region get into the postseason, and away we go. Everybody trying to finish strong. Lucas, second down, 8 yards to go, deep in Fort Loramie territory. Going to roll to the right, pass going to be caught. Smollen got a man out there. Caught it to, trying to think who caught the football for the Cubs on the far side of the field. As somebody catching the football we haven't seen here tonight.
Yeah.
It is Braden Spittler, who normally wears, Eric, number 77. He's wearing 33, playing tight end. So Braden Spittler with a first down catch inside the 15 down to the 14.
How about that right there? I'd have to imagine that, that's not on the scouting report for Fort Loramie. So that's a nice little change up there.
I caught that number change late before I came. Cubs with a first down. Back to pass. Smollen is going to trip and fall and go down. Got hit. Line of scrimmage was just inside the 15-yard line. He'll be back at around the 18, so they'll lose a few yards. It'll bring up second and long for the Lucas Cubs. Again, they'll be at the Fort Loramie 18-yard line. 4:38 to play here in the third. 21-8 Lucas, and we talked about a moment ago, it's worth repeating. One more score for Lucas to go up 3 scores late stages third quarter is just a mountain to climb for anybody.
Yeah, because they just put so much pressure. Especially the way that they eat clocks off. If you're a defense here, Fort Loramie, as long as they're not in the end zone, you're in good shape.
Second down, 14 yards to go from the 17. Pitch at left side. It's Finello. Works inside the 15. He'll be tackled down at around the 11-yard line. In on the stop for Fort Loramie that time was the safety, the senior Jacob Sherman in on the stop. They'll put the nose of the ball, Eric, just shy of the 10-yard line. He got close to 7 on that carry, but third down in a good 7 yards to go here for the Lucas Cubs, who have thrown the ball well tonight.
Well, just understand this, with that kicker, you're going to have the ability to walk out of here with 3 points, you'd think, if you were Lucas. So don't, if it gets to a fourth down situation, you feel good about that kick game.
They can run it, they can throw it, they'll pitch it right side, working it. It's Grant Barrett, waits for blockers, tries to cut it back. He'll get inside the 10 and be dumped at around the 7-yard line. So Grant Barrett gets close to 4, bringing up a fourth down, manageable at about 4 yards to go, and a decision here for head coach Scott Spittler with 3:20 to go in the third, leading 21-8. Do they think about a field goal here? Because Aiden Culler has the leg, and here he comes.
Yeah, I would do this because this does even with the field or even with their 2-point conversions, this makes it a full 2-possession game, and that's would be assuming that they would be able to get the 2-point conversions. So I think this is definitely the right move. We're now under 3 minutes here in the third quarter, so especially with the leg that we saw to end the half.
They'll put the ball down at the 14-yard line, 24-yard attempt. There's the snap, there's the kick, plenty of leg, and that baby is good. 24-yard field goal. Aiden Culler will step aside. 2:49 to play, third quarter. Lucas 24, Fort Loramie 8. We're back in a minute. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
When you're a local business owner, getting your business online can be a painful, expensive undertaking. But it doesn't have to be. With TMS Plus Digital Essentials, you'll get 6 essential services to launch your digital marketing, all for one low monthly price. Cut through the noise of today's digital world. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus. Visit tmsplus.com now for your free digital snapshot and for a chance to win a free 5-page website.
Back at Bob Wine Field here in Lucas, 24-8 is the Lucas lead. 2:49 to play here in quarter number 3 as the Cubs with a touchdown and a field goal here in quarter number 3. Kickoff going to be fielded by Fort Loramie. Nate Berger, the junior, on the return across the 30-35. It'll be dropped to the turf at around the 37-yard line. As we are coming to you tonight from the Wendy's broadcast booth, Aaron Hines, Eric Will, that brand new Wendy's burger is here. We've talked about that throughout the course of the broadcast here tonight. Make sure you stop by, use the Wendy's app. The big bacon cheddar finally here. Wash it down with a Frosty. 80 degrees today? Probably the last time we're going to see it, right?
Yeah, I would assume so. I think that this
that rain's
bringing that cool front.
Going to change things. Fort Loramie first down at the 37-yard line, their own 37. 5 wide receivers, back to pass, down 2 scores. Quarterback's going to roll, throw it. He's got his big tight end coming back, but he can't get it to him. It'll be shy of his feet and shy of the 45-yard line. Incomplete. Lucas chasing the quarterback, Maurer, all over the field here.
Yeah, I think we maybe even have a cramp over there. He's kind of pointing at his calf there.
I think you are right.
Might need a good stretch. Sometimes you need a good stretch, Aaron. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you mean.
Get a little tight. It's unbelievable. It's week 9.
It's week 9,
and we're still dealing with stretching issues. And I got my new iHeartRadio collared polo today. I'm feeling good, man. I got it last week, but I'm wearing it today, and it's awesome. My wife, she got it all ready for me today. She said your polo's ready, and I put it on. And I thought, Marge, I'm hoping I represent iHeartRadio in this shirt.
Well, and you also got some more swag. You got a toque.
Yep, got the toque for people at home. Once again, that's in Canada. This is a stocking cap.
Correct.
A toque.
TOQUE.
Right.
Toque.
We've educated. I just want you to know I use that at home with my kids, everything. We were at a store, and I was walking around, and I said, hey, don't mess with my toque. And my daughter looked at me, and I said, my hat. And I said, that's what we call it from now on, is a toque. So I just want you to know, Aaron, we're representing the Canadian.
I like it.
Anybody
I've told uses that word going forward.
Right.
They like that better. But, yeah, got you in your nice new iHeart swag. Good to see Colin Arnold up off the field with that cramp, and he's jogging off the field, so you know he'll be back in a play or so. He's played a great defensive game
played
tonight.
Really well.
Tell you what, Andrew Finello has played very well defensively. And you think about Lucas across the board, Eric, how well they played defensively. With 2:40 to play third quarter, they lead 24-8. This is – think about it. We saw Lucas out here, and you're seeing guys at 6'3", 6'4", 6'5". They have a lot of weapons, and Lucas has held them to 1 score.
No, and that's my point. When I was on the field earlier, I was just impressed with the size of the Fort Loramie kids. Like they look good out there.
Second down and 10. They'll hand the football off to Holland, and he will go nowhere. Did that ball come loose? The Cubs are saying the ball came loose, but the officials say no.
I'll tell you.
for the Lucas Cubs.
That's close, Aaron.
For the Lucas Cubs that time, I think that time, I'm trying to say the first guy threw.
Well, I tell you what, if that ball's out, that's a fumble because they didn't blow the way, and he was still fighting for yards.
Noah Langston was in there for the Lucas Cubs. Good job, as it'll be 3rd down and about 14 yards to go from their own 32 for Fort Loramie, trailing 24-8. Back to pass, pressure on, roll into the near side, trying to get rid of the ball down the sideline. He's going to overthrow his receiver, who was double covered. He had Gabe Meyer down the sideline. You can see the defensive coordinator, Jim Sweat, on the sideline just loving the blanket coverage and the pressure they had on Caleb Maurer as that's incomplete, bringing up 4th and long.
Yeah, Caleb Maurer has had almost no time to throw the ball. And I'm really impressed because when you look at what Lucas is doing, they're essentially playing with a 3-man rush and occasionally bringing a 4th on a blitz. They've double-teamed the Eilerman kid, who has over 850 yards receiving on the year. I don't even know if he has a catch in the game.
He has one that they tackled him just shy of the first down marker in the first half.
That's correct. So I think he's got one catch today.
But not one target.
Lucas defensively has just been on point. That's probably even more impressive. We've seen the offense and what it does. You know, like I said, you're here right now, you're like, 24-8, just Lucas doing Lucas things. But then when you watch how they've gone about it, because they're playing a team that's been so proficient in the pass game, they've been dominating today. And what's impressive is in the second half, Lucas just continues to dominate even more, having a 10-point lead here in the second half, meaning they've outscored him 10-0 here in the second half and getting ready to get the ball back again. And if Lucas does what Lucas normally does here, they're going to take off another 4 or 5 minutes and punch this one in.
Calvin Hoying with a cramp there for Fort Loramie. Good to go. Good to see him get up and get off the field. So 4th down and about 14 yards to go for Fort Loramie. The ball at their own 32-yard line. 1:56 to play here. Late stages, 3rd quarter. Lucas 24 and Fort Loramie 8. We mentioned 2 scores against Lucas late in the game. Feels like a mountain to climb. How about one more after they take off several minutes off the clock? So Fort Loramie knows punting it here, they definitely need to stop. Punt will go to the right. Lucas will let it roll. It'll inside the 30, hug along the sideline, and hop out of bounds around the 25-yard line. Nice punt right there. Fort Loramie.
Yeah, Noah Langston wanted nothing to do with that return there. He was like, nope, we're going to go ahead and let that thing roll there. So number 13, Noah Langston there on the return, 5'8", 147 pounds. I think that's a good decision at this stage. Don't even take a chance. We've had 2 fumbled punts. That's about the only way that you can allow momentum to swing back to the Redskins is a turnover at this point. So, listen, and it's not over. Fort Loramie right here gets a stop quickly. It's just got to be a 3 and out. You can't let them chew another 3-4 minutes off the clock here, even if it results in no points.
I believe they have 17 takeaways on the year as a team, so definitely, they're thinking something like that as Lucas will hand the football off, and they'll work their way and power it out near the 30-yard line. On 1st and 10, Andrew Finello on the bottom of that pile, as the wind's picking up just a little bit. 90 seconds to play here, 3rd quarter, 24-8. We know rain is looming sometime a little after 9.
Wind's picking up a little bit.
The radar last check, somewhere around 9 or a little after, there may be a little bit of rain sweeping through.
I think Lucas is trying to respect this by getting the clock moving. I think Jake's a little concerned. I could just see on his eyes there.
Jake, you're going to have to step in. I may have to pull my computer in.
Yeah, there's a little fear in his eyes.
We may have to drop this. All right,
nice
so
play.
Handoff for Lucas, and the back's going to break into the clear. Across midfield, down the sideline. That is Toms down the sideline, inside the 10, inside the end zone. As the rain starts to come down, it is a touchdown for the Lucas Cubs on a long touchdown run by Corbin Toms, and the Cubs trying to put an exclamation point on this one. How about that?
Yeah, that was a great play. Nice little change of speed there as we continue to protect the goods here at
Jake Furr is an outstanding man. He's keeping us dry. Rain starting to come down.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jake. Appreciate that.
Jake doing what Jake does, taking care of us here at iHeart. He's a good man. But anyways, I think we got most of it covered up here. What a play, though. How about that? As the just a little change of direction there in the backfield. Fake the jet sweep, come back with the counter. Looked like a little wildcat action right there out of Lucas.
And Lucas will go for the point after. Kick is on the way, and that kick is good. We'll step aside, just under a minute to play here in the third quarter. Lucas well in control. Lucas 31, Fort Loramie 8. Back in a minute. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin. Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not
Podcast.
both?
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
When you're a local business owner, getting your business
Soon has arrived. Welcome back to Bob Wine Field here in Lucas as we're trying to hold the rain outside of the treehouse here as rain is falling everywhere.
Gotta love it.
As we are late stages third quarter, 55 seconds to play here third quarter. Lucas is on top 31-8.
Man, it is
over
a monsoon.
Fort Loramie.
It is coming
It
down.
is coming down.
The OH report folks can see it. I'll tell you that across the screen here. It's I think it's finally made its way here, Aaron. But anyway, so here we go. We're going to see how well this offense does with a wet ball here. So Fort Loramie, here we go. Big series here. You got to ignore the elements, go out and play. Still got a full quarter to play, Aaron. So this is definitely Lucas Cub type weather.
Yeah, first down as Fort Loramie is going to hand the football off. Not a lot of room to run across the 20 and out near the 22-yard line is where the back will go. And as we mentioned, we had really good weather for the most part, and we knew the rain was going to come around 9. Well, it came just a little bit before 9 as it was
That's right.
sweeping a little faster than the radar could show.
And and even right there, you could see it. They were unable to get the running back was unable to get the ball there. You had a little bit of a bobbled snap. The quarterback had to keep it, and that obviously was not the design of the play.
And so it'll be Fort Loramie to hand the football off this time. They'll work their way across the 30. Are they going to have the first down? At first, it didn't look like they were going to have it. Now, I think they're going to have it. Holman Kitchen Supply first down for Fort Loramie as the conditions quickly have changed. Some leaves falling and some heavy rain as Fort Loramie will move the chains just across the 30-yard line. And Eric, I know for them throwing the football, not what they wanted, down 3 scores and having to throw the ball and maybe try to run the ball now here in the rain. They'll hand it off left side. It'll go to Holland. He'll cut it back across the 35. He'll be tackled at right around the 40-yard line is where he will go down. As Holland, we've seen a lot of him here tonight as we're trying to keep everything dry here in the treehouse inside the broadcast booth. A lot of rain coming down here in Cub Country.
Making sure we're taking care of the technology. That's the end of the quarter. We're heading into the fourth quarter here.
We will take a break. Back in a minute. You're listening to high school football on WMAN.
When you're a local business owner, getting your business online can be a painful, expensive undertaking. But it doesn't have to be. With TMS Plus Digital Essentials, you'll get 6 essential services to launch your digital marketing, all for one low monthly price. Cut through the noise of today's digital world. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus. Visit tmsplus.com now for your free digital snapshot and for a chance to win a free 5-page website. Start of the fourth quarter from rainy
Bob Wine Field. Aaron Hines, Eric Will, the OH report tonight. 31-8 Lucas as we're just underway here in the start of quarter number 4. And again, Lucas in control, Eric, by 3 scores, and all of a sudden, not ideal conditions.
No, not at all. Big play right there by Lucas to create a 2nd and long with a negative play. And so expect to see the ball on the ground here quite a bit.
Fort Loramie is going to hand the football off, working to the far side of the field that time. Again, Holland on the carry. We've seen a lot of Will Holland here tonight.
Yes.
Good carry for him off the right side. He'll get about 5 yards. It'll bring up maybe 6 yards. Bring up 3rd and about 4 here for Fort Loramie. The ball just across the 45 out near the 47-yard line.
Well, and here's the thing. Fort Loramie's actually ran the ball at times well today. So, this isn't something that makes them uncomfortable. They've had success on the ground.
He'll hand the football off 3rd and about 4, trying to work his way for a 1st down, and he will get it. 1st down carry for Fort Loramie. Will Holland again on the carry as they're into Lucas territory at around the 47-yard line. Clock continues to run.
Yeah, we're at 10:45, and sorry for OH report spectators here. We had to pull our clock out because it was getting a little bit wet. We can't ruin technology.
By the way, a little wet. It was getting monsoon.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, yeah.
Penalty marker will come out. We'll keep you throughout the evening here with the remainder of the time. False start on Fort Loramie as they go to snap the football. It'll back them up 5 yards into their own territory, as Eric mentioned. 10:32 to go in the football game. Lucas on top 31-8. And for Fort Loramie, as we mentioned, Eric, 1 score here tonight, but I think what's been so impressive is the way Lucas has been able to slow down their pass attack. I know they're going to try to run it now, but the way Lucas's defense has been against their pass attack has been very impressive because they've been giving up size as well.
Absolutely, size, and I just feel like that, Ireland's such a good athlete. They've done a good job bottling him up. Look at this. Nice run.
Yeah, very good run. Inside the 45 and down near the 40-yard line. That is Will Holland again on the carry. He won't have the 1st down, but he'll be about 3 or 4 yards shy as Will Holland with a great run right there. And again, he's had a really nice evening tonight here for Fort Loramie.
Yeah, Will Holland's had a really nice line. And the offensive line's done well at times. They've actually done better run blocking than pass blocking, and now we're under 10 minutes here in the 4th quarter.
2nd down, about 40 yards to go for Fort Loramie. The ball is at the Lucas 41-yard line. They'll hand the football off coming to the near side, and the back's going to be picked up and dropped at around the 37-yard line as Lucas trying to see who made that tackle for the Cubs. I think that time, was it Corbin Toms?
It might have been.
Might have been Corbin Toms on the stop.
And they feel like that they had the turnover there. So
well, I'll tell you what, it looked like he had the 1st down.
Well,
he was right on.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'm with you, Aaron. I think that. I think they're giving the
okay,
first
I was going to say it.
No,
I
agree with you. And what's funny is I think the offensive lineman that came in to kind of give him an extra hit actually pushed him across the line there. So, once again, extending the drive here for Fort Loramie. It's kind of funny. Now they've been forced to run because of weather, and they're having a lot of success on the ground.
Fort Loramie, as we mentioned, 1st down at the Lucas 37-yard line. Mauer's going to throw the football. Had a man out there, Gabe Meyer, and he dropped it at around the 20-yard line. Incomplete. 9:25 to go in the football game. Lucas 31 and Fort Loramie 8. Boy, you'd love to have that one back.
I'll tell you what, it's raining enough now. You could tell that ball was almost even kind of shot put out of the quarterback's hand, Mauer. Oh, man, you'd like to have that one back and reel that thing in. Listen, when you have elements like this, everything has got to be slowed down. Your fundamentals have got to be perfect. Just secure the catch. Don't even care. You shouldn't even care about getting a yard after. Just secure that catch.
2nd down, 10 yards to go from the Lucas 37-yard line. Will Holland again will run it to the left side. He'll be tackled shy of the 30-yard line at around the 32. Good job hit on the stop that time. It was Andrew Finello coming up to make the stop, and the Cubs will force a 3rd down and probably a long 4 to go here.
Under 9 minutes.
Yeah, you're right. Just under 9 minutes to play in the game. 31-8 is the Lucas lead, and for the Cubs, they're just playing defense to keep them out of the end zone and use clock.
And if you're a Lucas fan, and if you're a Lucas Cub in general here, you're fine. That clock's running. And to be honest with you, even if they would score, it's not the end of the world here.
Handoff Again, Will Holland, actually not Will Holland, that's Mesher on the carry. Damon Mesher carries it left side. He'll be tackled shy of the 25-yard line. And so it will be a Home and Kitchen Supply first down as Mesher got the carry that time. And again, the rain letting up.
Yeah, just a little bit here.
Well, I'll tell you what, it's letting up a lot.
Man,
now all of a sudden.
It
boy,
was coming down.
It opened up, and the monsoon we heard about in Marion arrived, right?
Right, it came. There's no doubt about that. But,
hopefully
yeah, and now as long as your sideline's done a good job of keeping your ball dry, you should be able to get back in the air a little bit.
1st and 10 at the Lucas 26-yard line. They'll hand the football off again this time as they'll work it up the middle. Again, that time was Mesher. Damon Mesher on the carry. He'll go down to the 22-yard line, so give him 4. 2nd down, 6 yards to go. 31-8 Lucas. 8 minutes even to play here in the football game at Bob Wine Field. The Cubs trying to improve to 7-1 on the year.
This is one of those games that's kind of fun, Aaron. When you're a kid, you like to go outside and play in the mud. That's what you're doing right here.
Mesher's going to get the handoff, work it right side.
Nice
good
cut.
Spin move inside the 15, be tackled at around the 13-yard line. Meshner again getting a handful of carries on this drive.
They've had a lot of success on the ground.
They have. And they're a team that can throw it, but you
right.
can tell they can run the football.
Right. I mean, it's kind of interesting now as we're watching this play. Like I said, I mean, with the way the weather was dictating play calling, they've had so much success on the ground.
Lucas on defense, but 1st and 10 for Fort Loramie, knocking near the 10-yard line. Handoff just inside the 15. Will push it down near the 13-yard line, so virtually no gain on that carry that time for Fort Loramie. The back had the ball and just got shoved back. And so it'll bring up 2nd down and long here for Fort Loramie. We've seen a lot of Mesher on this drive. That time carrying the ball, it was Will Holland.
Yeah.
But Holland has ran it a lot, Mesher, and as the rain came, we had a feeling you might not see Maurer throw it around a whole lot, especially in that monsoon.
Well, right. You got a 2nd one here. We're now under 7 minutes, hitting 6:50 here on the clock. So like I said, Lucas is quite they're content with this clock running.
2nd and 10 from the 13-yard line of Lucas. They'll hand it off to Holland. Holland will work his way for a few yards up the middle. J.D. Cox got one paw on him, slowed him down while others came in for the stop for the Lucas Cubs. So a very short gain of a couple of yards. 3rd and about 7 here coming up for Fort Loramie.
Yeah, here we go. It might be the first actual passing situation. Obviously, everything's four downs. Field goals don't do anything for you, which I don't even think they kick field goals. So they're going to be trying to get this first down, if nothing else, even trying to get this thing in the end zone.
6:15 to go in the game. Lucas up 31-8, 3rd and 7 from just outside the 10-yard line. They'll hand the football off,
tackle.
And the back will go absolutely nowhere. Actually, I'm sorry, it was Nate Thornsberry came up, or Roseberry come up to make the stop for the Lucas Cubs. So a good defensive play right there, stopping him. Really no gain at all.
Right, no gain. Might have even lost a few inches there.
It was Nate Roseberry on the stop, the senior for Lucas.
Right, 5:45, clock's running here. Obvious passing situation. I doubt they're going to keep this thing on the ground here. You're going to see something probably towards the end zone. And then if you're able to get this in, you got to be thinking onside kick, especially with these conditions, Aaron. So you never know here, man. You can make this thing interesting here with a quick touchdown.
4th down and 9 from the Lucas 13-yard line. Maurer back to pass, throws it over the middle. The ball's going to be tipped and incomplete in the back of the into the end zone. Good job by the Lucas Cubs, incomplete, and they will turn it over on downs as the Cubs had multiple guys in the end zone. Trying to see, I believe one of the guys that got a hand on it that time was Noah Langston, among others, right there near the goal line. So good job by the Cubs.
Yep.
And now their offense will take over in something they can do really, really well.
Right.
Chew up some clock.
Yeah, they're going to chew up this clock. I think Lucas would be perfectly fine and content if 5:23 left in this game right now. If
they didn't give the ball
back.
back.
Fort Loramie doesn't get themselves back on the, their offense back on the field.
So Lucas will head out to the line of scrimmage as the rain picks up a little bit of intensity. As Eric mentioned, 1st and 10, and the ball at their own 13-yard line, leading 31-8 late stages of the ball game. Lucas will just run it straight ahead. They'll plow ahead for a couple of yards across the 15 and out near the 16-yard line. That's your boy on the carry
Yeah,
right
Finley.
there. Zane Finley plowing ahead for a couple. Actually, maybe give him close to 4, a little more than I initially thought.
Yeah.
So
Solid 3 anyways.
Cubs using clock, 5 minutes even to play in the football game. Lucas 31 and Fort Loramie 8. And again, the Cubs will be in no hurry. They'll use all 17 seconds left on that play clock.
Yeah, Lucas here going a little unbalanced, taking their tackle over here. So they got a heavy set here to the left.
Cubs, as you mentioned, second down and about 6 yards to go. They'll pitch it to the near side. Grant Barrett will work his way across the line of scrimmage. He'll be bumped and tackled at around the 32-yard line. Good job. Ratterman got a hand on him among others there for Fort Loramie at around the 22-yard line, setting up third down and about a yard for Lucas. Leading 31-8 with 4:17 to play in the football game. We'll announce our Spitzer Motors game changer coming up in tonight's postgame show. Who for the Lucas Cubs helped change this game? We will find out. Spitzer Motors can change things for you. How about a brand new Kia Forte for $99 a month on a lease? That says $3 a day. Stop by and see them, West 4th Street, Ontario. Online anytime at drivespitzer.com. Cubs will fake it both ways and hand it off to the first guy through, and he will plow his way ahead to the 30-yard line for a home and kitchen supply first down. That's your boy Zane Finley,
Just leaving bodies
who
behind
emerged from bodies in the middle for a first down.
Yeah, that's what it would look like if Jake Furr played football right there. Just a massive loss of life back behind him as he bulldozes forward. You know, this is when Lucas is just absolutely in their wheelhouse. You got under 350 right now. The clock's just continuing to move. Lucas just eating things up, staying behind that offensive line, and just the diversity of their run game. Are you going to see dive? You know, are you going to see counter? Are you going to see the double handoff? You're going to see the trap. You know, they have so many different things they can do with this offense.
Well, as Eric mentioned, the Cubs right now are in absolutely no hurry as that clock continues to wind down. 3:34 to go in the football game. They lead 31-8, first and 10 at the 30-yard line. They'll plow ahead. It literally is a rugby scrum. Zane Finley just drug bodies for 12 yards.
That's just 1-2, Aaron. That's all that is. One team's kind of tapping out here, ready to head home, and one team's still playing football with a little bit of an attitude. And you know, the last 3 runs, I mean, that's all that is. That's just dive. You're just turning and handing the ball off, getting behind that guard center tackle, just saying, man on, hat on a hat, we're moving, north and south, and behind your big old bowling ball fullback, and, let them ice the game, Aaron. That's what they're doing. Let them ice the game.
3:10 to go in the game. 31-8 Lucas, first and 10 at their own 42-yard line. In no hurry, play clock at 3 to the line. Actually, quarterback will just spin around and keep it himself. It's Smolin across the 45. He'll be tackled at around the 47-yard line. So he kept it himself. Got a good chunk of real estate right there. It'll bring up second down and about, I would say, close to 5 yards, maybe 4.
Right.
They're going to spot him. We're actually going to put it down just across the 46-yard line. But the Cubs get a nice carry on first down. Clock is just over 2.5 to go in the football game. Again, Lucas 31 and Fort Loramie 8 as the Cubs in no hurry back to the line of scrimmage. Haven't played in 2 weeks. They've been dealing with injuries. They got healthy and playing very well here tonight.
Yeah, just doing what they do here. So
Smolin is going to take actually not even going to take the handoff, just take the snap and plow ahead behind that offensive line. He'll get across the line of scrimmage, work his way near the 48. So give him a few yards, third down, and about 4 yards to go as that clock continues to wind down. 2 minutes even left in the football game. If you're just joining us, the Cubs, very impressive through the air tonight, on the ground, field goal, and they've held a very good offense that averaged almost 30 points a game. Weapons galore, wide receiver and tight end, lots of size to just one score.
Right, and they're going to let this thing move down. To kind of like really ice the game, they just need one more first down here, and then they can take a knee and get out of here. So, they'll probably run at least one more play.
Third and about 4, just shy of midfield. They'll pitch it to Grant Barrett. Works his way, and the Cubs still fighting hard. Barrett plowing his way through a couple of guys. Sherman in on the stop for Fort Loramie right at midfield. It'll bring up fourth down and a couple for Lucas. 1:19 to go in the game. Lucas 31 and Fort Loramie 8. The Cubs will send out the punt team as they got 25 seconds left on the play clock, 1:09 to go on the game clock, so they'll run that down as far as they can, punt it away, and Fort Loramie may have a play or two, and this baby will be in the books.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm almost surprised Lucas actually had just gone ahead and take the 2 yards as opposed to a chance of a bobbled snap or the ball going through the punter's hands.
And they will snap it to the up man, and he'll plow ahead for a home and kitchen supply first down to seal the football game. That time, taking it was Braden Jackson, the direct snap right to him instead of the punter. First down, and the Cubs going to be able to get an Eric Wills' favorite formation with 40 seconds to play.
Here's the thing, and why I was saying that was just because there's a lot of things that can happen with the ball, when you're talking about a long snap in this type of element. It's not going to be the difference in the game. It's not going to cost you the game, but just the conditions, as opposed to kind of controlling the game and getting out of here with a knee going down. But congratulations to Lucas on a well-fought game. I thought that their game plan was spot on. We knew what we were going to get offensively. I thought where I was impressed was defensively. I thought that they just absolutely played lights out today.
Clock down to 10 seconds, and the Cubs will burn a timeout. Actually going to burn it with 11 seconds to play in the football game. As after the game, we'll also select who made a heck of a play. Boy, we got a tough decision on our hands. Spitzer Motors game changer, heck of a play, courtesy of Mansfield's injury lawyer Jeff Heck in the Heck Law Office. It was to hand out some pizza from Giannino's, and our Gander Door defensive player of the game. So lots of awards to hand out in tonight's post game. But I know the one thing the Cubs love, victory number 7 is 11 seconds away.
Yeah, they're going to be 7-1 after this. Going to get a lot of points here as well, keeping them probably nowhere further off than 1 or 2 in their region.
They were 2 coming in. Norwalk St. Paul was number 1.
Right, which that'll be decided tomorrow night on the OH report. You can tune in.
Right, against Crestview.
Yeah, against Crestview, St. Paul. That's probably going to be for the outright league title. I mean, you would think. I don't think Crestview's played really well, man.
Andrew Smullen and Eric Wills' favorite formation in the Lucas Cubs. The victory formation takes the snap, knee down, clock winds down. 3, 2, 1, triple zeros. Final score from Bob Winefield. The Lucas Cubs improved to 7-1 with an impressive 31-8 victory over Fort Loramie. And again, they improved to 7-1. Fort Loramie falls to 3-6 on the year. We'll step aside, come back, hand out our awards, and put a wrap on this one. Final score from now a rainy and wet Bob Winefield. Lucas 31, Fort Loramie 8. We're back in a minute. You're listening to High School Football on WMAN.
Man, what should I listen to on the OH Report today?
Dude, listen to the Friday Night Pigskin. You got highlights and scores from all around the area.
The OH Report podcast has more than just football.
No, listen to the Pigskin. The Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Pigskin.
Why not both?
Pigskin.
Podcast.
Dude, clean your ears out, man.
Bro, there's so much space in here.
When you're a local business owner, getting your business online can be a painful, expensive undertaking. But it doesn't have to be. With TMS Plus Digital Essentials, you'll get 6 essential services to launch your digital marketing, all for one low monthly price. Cut through the noise of today's digital world. No hype, just results. That's TMS Plus. Visit tmsplus.com now for your free digital snapshot and for a chance to win a free 5-page website.
Welcome back to Bob Wine Field here in Lucas. Final score tonight, the Cubs improved to 7-1 with a 31-8 win over Fort Loramie. As we welcome you inside our post-game show, it is presented by the Mansfield Richland County Public Library, and one of those proud branches right here in Cubby Country in Lucas. You can find all the upcoming events online at mrcpl.org. WMAN teaming up tonight with the OH Report. High school football week 9 as we put a wrap on it. Let's recap this game. At the 7:01 mark of the opening quarter, a 45-yard touchdown run by Grant Barrett, who bounced it to the outside down the sideline. Point after by Aiden Culler was good. Made it 7-0 Lucas, and that's how we ended the first quarter. In the second quarter, at the 6:26 mark, it was a 40-yard touchdown pass on a great throw from Smolin and a great catch by Corbin Toms, who took it away from a defender. Point after by Culler. Made it 14-0 Lucas, and then Fort Loramie able to score with 35 seconds to play in the first half. Late second quarter, a 5-yard touchdown pass. It went to Damon Mesher from the quarterback Caleb Maurer. 2-point conversion. The first time had a penalty. They did get it, but because of the penalty, they had to do it again, and they got it to Owen Plyman on the left side. Made it 14-8 Lucas. The Cubs tried a 52-yard field goal by Aiden Culler right before halftime. It fell 2 yards short. It would have been good. It was on target, just a couple yards short. We went into halftime with Lucas leading 14-8. But in that second half, it was all Cubs.
Yes,
Lucas,
it was.
at the 8:40 mark of the third quarter, on the play of the night, a 27-yard touchdown pass where Andrew Smolin dropped it in a bucket over the shoulder to Andrew Finello in the back of the end zone. Point after was good by Aiden Culler, made it 21-8. Then Aiden Culler said, hey, I can make field goals. 24-yarder at the 2:49 mark was good, made it 24-8. And then the Cubs able to put this game away on a 70-yard touchdown run late in the fourth quarter by Corbin Toms down the sideline. Very impressive. Point after was good by Aiden Culler. Made it 31-8, and that brings us to our final score here tonight. 31-8, Lucas wins. And Eric, they were so impressive in this game, and it's amazing. This team had a week off. They had guys like Finello injured. They get him back, and you can, number one, you can see what Finello means to this team on both sides.
Absolutely. He was dialed in. You could tell when guys have missed, you can just see it. They're dialed in. They're extra motivated. They're extra attention to detail. You know, I don't think it was well publicized he was going to be back this game. We kind of had some intel. You know, we felt like he was going to be able to make it into us. Or make it into this game. We were going to be able to see him today. Man, he played so well today. I thought he was – and I'll tell you where I really noticed it was defensively. Him at that linebacker spot makes all the difference. And I'll tell you what, Aaron, even a couple of years ago when we were watching him play you know, he just makes plays all over the field.
Yeah.
And defensively, I thought he was on point with no pass interference. He had 2 or 3 batted balls, and then offensively had one of the nicest catches you're ever going to see in high school football. Really, let's say what it is, any level. It was an incredible pass by Smolin, but what a catch to keep your feet in the back of the end zone. It was just really, really impressive. I believe he's going to be making his way up here.
He is making we're going to have to hand him this microphone.
Yeah, we'll hand him the mic here.
I believe we'll may have to untangle it. We only have so much cord.
We've only got so much cord. Yeah, there you go.
Andrew Finello is making the climb to the top, and we'll hand him the microphone.
Right.
Andrew, if you can grab a hold of that. Andrew, first of all, congratulations. You played a great ball game here tonight. Andrew Finello is joining us. I know you were not able to play the last game. You were injured. How much fun, number one, to be back out with the guys?
It's great. It's great. You learn a lot sitting out, you know, watching your teammates go and play, and you make, you know, you honor what you get to do every Friday night when you go out and, you know, put the shoulder pads on and you play every night. So.
Yeah. So talk to me. You know, you knew you were going to be playing this week. You knew you were going to get back on the field. So just talk to me about what was your preparation like mentally this week for you specifically, knowing that you're coming back, you're playing a good team. They throw the ball all over the yard. Yeah. I thought you guys were on point defensively tonight.
Yeah.
So just talk to me about what was your mental just where were you at mentally going through this entire week, preparation, getting yourself ready to play football?
Well, like I said, sitting out, you learn a lot, and, coming back, it's just you're so excited to just play some football. And,
right.
Especially out here on senior night, playing for all of our seniors, they deserve it. Everybody works so hard. And, just coming out and playing football, that's what we do.
Right.
It's fun.
Yeah.
Well, Andrew, a couple things before he lets you go. As you're our player of the game, our Spitzer Motors game changer.
There you go, brother.
We're going to take a picture in that before you
Yeah,
go.
all right.
But talk to me through the touchdown pass from Small, and he put it right over your shoulder. I mean, that is one of the best catches we've seen all year and maybe years. Walk us through that and how difficult that is catching that and how great of a pass that was.
Yeah, he put it right out there perfectly. It's all props to him, give me a chance. And, I got the guy on my hip and just, having to make a play. So, thanks to the line for, giving him time to get the ball out and him, seeing the field. And, it's great teamwork, great everything. It goes to everybody.
Right. I just really enjoy watching you guys play because I can tell it's selfless football here. The offense that you run, the defense that you run, it's 1 of 11. You guys just want to play football.
Yes, sir.
You guys don't care who gets credit. You just want to make plays.
Yes, sir.
I enjoy watching you play on the defensive side. So let me ask you this. What side of the ball do you like better and why?
To be honest with you, we have fun on both sides of the ball.
Right.
It's just getting after it on both sides,
right.
proving that, we're just going to show up and we're going to play hard on either side. So
right.
I really don't know if I can answer that one, but, we have a ball on each side.
Right. You just got to whichever side's out, that's your favorite, man. I like it.
Yeah. Andrew Finello, last question. Talk about, they had a lot of size at wide receiver, tight end, but you guys got your hand in there. Talk about what the coaches teach you guys about, raking through the ball, knocking it away. You guys were really good at that tonight.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot of just keeping people in front of you, not getting ran by. So, we just got to stay disciplined. And, just we practice what we, execute, and it's that every week.
Right. Yeah, I want you to know this. You're a pleasure to watch.
Thank you.
You and your teammates are a pleasure to watch. And the Lucas Cubs are a lot better when 25's running around on the field. So I'm glad you're back, man, doing something you love doing with the people that you love doing with.
Yes,
We're looking forward to following you guys and continuing, finish out Week 10. You got a big one next week, so you'll enjoy this tonight. I know you'll get ready for Mogador next week, and we're excited to follow you in the playoffs, man. You and your teammates are a blast to watch. You guys represent your community well, and God bless, brother.
Thank you.
Congratulations, Andrew. Thank you very much. Andrew Finello, our Spitzer Motors game changer, player of the game. Eric, can you grab the mic?
Absolutely. We got to get a picture of him here.
Andrew, just hold your T-shirt up, we're going to get a photo of you, all right?
Yeah, this is a big deal. We got to get the photo shoot here.
That's right.
If you're watching on the OH report here, yeah, don't fall backwards. We're not going to get. I don't want to get yelled at here.
All right, Andrew, great. And Andrew, if you would, give that pizza coupon to your quarterback. You get a free pizza from Giannino's for that touchdown pass. All right.
You guys can split that. You guys can split that pizza. Hey, Andrew, thanks for coming up, my man.
Andrew Finello, our Spitzer Motors game changer, player of tonight's game, and boy, you and I talk about getting to talk to the kids after the game, and you could tell the one thing that I took away. We talked about Smullen dropping that baby in a bucket over his shoulder. How great of a throw, how great of a catch. What do you want to talk about? The O-line gave him time to throw it.
I'm telling you, man, Coach Spittler's culture here is spot on. It is spot on. It is literally an A-plus, top-of-the-line culture. When you run the offense they run, and then it's a plug and play. And you know what's funny is in 3 years it'll be somebody else. In 3 years after that it'll be somebody else. And then 3 years after that it'll be somebody else. But you always hear the same thing, Aaron. It's always offensive line. It's always my teammates put me in a position. Listen, that's what people talk about when they talk about culture. If a culture's corroded, it's an I thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And these guys, they're about success, which is important, but I think more importantly, they're in the world of significance, which means that everybody's benefiting. Yeah, it truly is. I just know when we talked to Zane earlier in the year, or I'm sorry, I always want to say Zane.
It
is Zane.
It was Zane Finley,
Zane.
correct.
Was
You're right.
Zane.
Yep.
It's the same talking points. And listen, that's not fake. You can tell these guys have completely bought into the culture that Lucas and Coach Spittler cultivate here. And maybe it's because I'm a former coach. I'm a parent as well. If I had a son, I would want him playing Lucas football. I want my kid a part of this environment with that coaching staff because of the people that we see and the young men that are produced. I mean, there literally isn't a a bad kid playing football at Lucas. These are just great young men, and you can tell that they're raised well by their parents. This is just, Aaron, I know I keep going on about this stuff, but I think the world of this program. Because
you're impressed.
Well, here's why. They're winning football games because of the culture, because your talent's going to come and go. Okay, but that culture stays. And the reason they're so successful, people are like, man, I think Lucas could take a step back. You know why they don't take a step back? Because their culture, which is done from the top down, Taylor Eisman and the administration down to Spittler, his staff, and it goes to the kids.
What do you always say? They check all the boxes.
They check all the boxes, man.
All right, post-game show brought to you by your friends at the Mansfield Richland County Public Library. So Spitzer Motors Game Changer tonight goes to junior Andrew Finello. Whale of a ball game. All right, heck of a play. We gave it away. Heck of a play from the Heck Law offices will go to the quarterback, and that will be Andrew Smullen, who threw a couple of touchdown passes tonight, and not one better anywhere than the one he dropped over the shoulder of Finello in the back of the end zone, 27 yards. So that's brought to you by the Heck Law offices, Mansfield's injury lawyers, Jeff Heck and Jeff Stifler, here to help at hecklawoffices.com. Some free pizza coming up from Giannino's. And our last piece of business is our defensive player of the game. That is the Gander Door defensive player of the game. I love to reward the big guys on the line. And how about 6 feet even, 222-pound senior offense and defensive lineman Colin Arnold, who is flat out all over this football field tonight.
Yeah, he played really well tonight. Had a sack, had a couple TFLs. Did a really, really nice job. He was instrumental in actually creating second and third and longs. His presence was felt the entire game. You know, the Fort Loramie quarterback was never comfortable tonight, in large part because of him running around the field. So very deserving of that award, amongst others. You know, sometimes when you have a performance like this, it's hard to narrow it down
to one because
they're all good.
Andrew Finello could have been your defensive player of the game. He was so dialed in tonight in his first game back. Congratulations to Lucas senior defensive lineman Colin Arnold, our Gander Door defensive player of the game. Gander Door, game-saving tackles. Gander Doors will save you money on top brands like LiftMaster. They're serving the area with all your residential and commercial garage door needs. They're always in your neighborhood. Visit them at ganderdoor.com. As we put a wrap on it tonight, WMAN and the OH report here from Bob Wine Field. The rain has settled down. Hopefully it can be that way until we pack it up and get out of here. Next week, WMAN, we will be at WW Skiles Field in Shelby, Clear Fork at Shelby. We haven't heard any updates, so we've been basically trying to keep things dry from the monsoon. I haven't been able to be checking. Both games were, we have the Colts on top 15-10, and that is in the second half. Shelby was well
fourth quarter.
Fourth quarter. Shelby was well in control, so it looks like they might be on target if the Colts can hang on to play for the MOAC title next week.
They'll both be, I believe, 6-0 heading into that game league, because remember they don't have they'll be 5-0 in the league, I believe, going into that game. So that'll set up that'll be the outright MOAC title.
Well, you draw it up, right?
Skiles.
Week 10, conference title.
Right. I wish Lucas had a conference to play in, because, man, I'm telling you, they would be hanging up a lot of stuff in their gym they would have a lot of stitching around here with
a lot of banners hanging inside.
Right.
Well, I want to say thanks to everybody here at Lucas. And before we get out of here, I do want to remind you, head to our website, WMANFM.com, and check out the iHeartRadio Athlete of the Week. It's presented by the Neal Katie Insurance Agency of Ashland and Norwalk. You can get a free quote at NealKatieInsurance.com, and we may see one of these Cubs as the Athlete of the Week. The most recent two, Crestview football player Connor Morse, over 1,000 yards.